Okay, welcome to the Sip of Courage podcast. This is going to be the first podcast. Hopefully, we'll get some people who actually want to listen to us when we get many, many more. My name's Danny. We're just going to introduce ourselves for the Sip of Courage podcast. We're also going to have some episodes here and there. What are we calling those?
Like companion videos.
Companion videos. So we're going to have some companion videos. So again, I'm Danny, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Doug.
Hello, I am the other co-host of this podcast, Sip of Courage. My name is Doug, and it's a long time coming for this show, and we're really excited about it, and we're going to be talking about stuff that's not in the mainstream media. We're going to be looking at a lot of different topics that will never be brought up there, and that's where I'm coming from, just finding interesting facts that it is not, if ever, reported on, examining that stuff, and then having some questions about it. And let me kick it over to our producer. Introduce yourself, my man.
Hey, everyone. I'm Mr. Producer. You'll probably hear me be called like 30 different things throughout the span of the podcast.
We got a lot of nicknames for him.
I do everything behind the scenes, and I'm going to be running the social medias. So if you guys want to hit us up, send us anything, talk, vice versa, I'll be the one you're talking to.
That's right.
Yes.
And important to note, listen, we're not a news show. We're not a news program. We're just some blue-collar dudes who have found that we've been lied to about a lot of stuff over the years. And now that we're aware of it, and like I said, we're going to be looking at a bunch of different topics and giving our take, and hopefully people will enjoy it, and we're going to try and have a laugh along the way, because when you're looking into certain, conspiracies and whatever it is, we'll be all over the place, but sometimes it gets kind of dark, and we're going to try and laugh as much as possible, entertain you guys, and not get bogged down in, doom and gloom or anything like that. So I think that about covers it.
Yeah, we're a couple of bros with some interesting views. We've got some interesting views.
We got some interesting takes.
Yeah, some takes, and hopefully we can get people to not think how we think, but just to think a little bit. Sometimes it's stimulating conversation.
I hope
and
somebody,
got to laugh in between.
I hope somebody watching hears something we say and is like, "Huh, is that right?" And they Google it and find out it is right, and that leads them into truth and figuring out what's really going on.
Oh, yeah. Even if you don't agree with us, as long as we have you guys thinking,
exactly,
that's what we want.
Yeah. We're not going to all agree with each other, and I think that's important, because we don't want an echo chamber, but there's definitely a lot of stuff going on out there, and I think we should get right to it. No?
Works for me.
Okay, so
let's do it.
First topic of the Sip of Courage podcast is going to be about Bud Light.
Ooh.
So apparently,
what's going on with Bud Light? There's something going on, or is that
Bud Light?
is that a thing? Bud Light.
It's a small blip,
okay,
of a thing that they decided to have trans activist Dylan Mulvaney. Is that right? Trans activist.
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney, big trans activist on TikTok.
Okay. So, and weirdly enough, the Bud Light crowd or consumers, they weren't exactly happy about it. It didn't really speak to them, I guess.
Kid Rock, right? Probably.
Kid Rock took a machine gun and shot up a bunch
some Bud Light. I think a few
cans
country
of Bud Light.
people
Okay.
said they're not going to do it, right? They're not going to.
Some people are
cut them off
outraged.
in a tour, and they were outraged and stuff.
I saw a video of some guy like in a grocery store just throwing cans of Bud Light on the ground.
Yeah, I think that
And that could have been a mental health issue.
Listen,
It might not have been
Not-
Bud Light
not-
targeted.
Not condoning
We don't
that.
We don't
in
know.
the slightest.
No.
But
He
was
could have been having his own things going on.
Was a
He
funny
just
clip.
happened to grab Bud Light.
I mean, hey,
It was
listen,
funny.
you can do whatever you want with your own Bud Light that you purchase.
Oh, yeah, buy the
you
Bud
know
Light.
What I'm
That's
saying?
true. You
You
can
want to buy
shoot
some
it.
Bud Light and destroy it? Hey, you go ahead, pal. You know what I'm saying? But at the grocery store, man.
Yeah, you do it at your own home.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about Bud Light? You like it?
Oh, it's terrible.
it's a terrible, terrible
It's
beer.
drinking
It's never been good.
something that doesn't taste good.
It's a terrible beer. Yeah,
I'm not a beer drinker in general, but
no.
not a big fan
It's not
of Bud
good.
Light.
It's definitely not good. No, it's
Just
really
the mainstream beers in general, like Miller Lite or Bud Light. Like, I don't like any of that.
I
Craft
mean,
beers are where it's at, in my opinion. But yeah, never was a big fan
No.
of Bud Light. But I kind of wanted to talk about how, so the whole, trans issue of, so my feeling is this.
Wait, quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dylan Mulvaney, and please forgive me because I'm not up on all of the trans politically correct stuff. I'm not up on any of the politically correct stuff, let alone this stuff, which is pretty new-ish. Dylan Mulvaney, is this, because I just thought about it right now. It's a guy who transitioned into a girl, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
far as I
Still
know.
goes by the name Dylan Mulvaney.
It could be
right?
girl
Okay.
or
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, look at whatever name you like. I'm just curious.
but still,
Just
Dylan
to be clear
Mulvaney
on
is
that.
the
Okay.
name.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So my thing is this. I am of the mind that to each his own. If you are an adult in this country, we have freedom. Well, we're supposed to have freedom, right? It's supposed to be a big deal.
Right.
You should have the freedom to do what you want as long as you're not harming anyone. Okay?
100%.
As long as you're not hurting anyone. Two consenting adults can do what they want. And if I can't say that I understand the mindset of someone going through anything trans or something like that, and I can't imagine how difficult that could be. And, I just wish anyone the best, right? Don't hurt anybody, and it's all good. The problem I started having with the trans issue, and it doesn't have to do with regular trans people that are just living their lives, it's when we started finding trans people in schools reading to preschoolers. When we started having children being brought into this, okay?
Hold on, wait. So you're talking about drag queen story time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's pretty like
That was the start, though.
yeah. Well, a lot of people. So the drag queen story time, a lot of people know about that, but a lot of people don't. Some people don't even. I've mentioned it to people. I've talked about it before to people because that's been going on a long time. Actually, when I personally first heard about it was when the Obamas were in office.
Oh, it was back then?
Yeah. See,
So,
well, that's the thing.
to be fair, there you
and
go.
fact check me if you want on that. You could, please do by all means. Check it out. I mean, if you want to look at you, Mr. Producer, you could probably look up Obama. Drag queen story time. Yeah, and so it started there, and it was a long time ago. It goes back, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes back, and people still say it's like, oh no, that's not real. That never happened. That's not a real thing. It's like no, this is a very real thing.
They are wrong. It was
Right.
real, and it was inappropriate.
Exactly.
And it is inappropriate. It's like bringing a stripper in. You wouldn't want a stripper wearing her or his stripper outfit reading to preschoolers. You wouldn't want that.
Well, it's a kink.
Which should have nothing to do with preschool children.
Exactly.
Okay.
But that's kind of the point. The kink is it's a sexual thing. There's
It's
a sexual
sexual in
connotation
nature.
to
Yes,
it.
yes, it's
And
sexual
I think that's
in
important.
nature.
Yes, I think that's important to
Right.
that they point out that sexualization.
Exactly. And so that's how it started, in my opinion. And then it started turning into, well, children now being able to make their own decision on whether they want to transition or not, or start taking hormone blockers, which ruins your natural ability to develop, or start having surgeries on children.
Irreversible surgeries.
Irreversible surgeries
You've mutilated
because
your
a
body.
child told you something. Okay?
Right.
I don't know if this is controversial or not, but
Well, where does this
children
end?
are not, they're kind of dumb. They don't know what's best for them. That's why they
children.
have parents to guide them and make them do the correct things in life, ideally. There's a reason why children don't drink. There's a reason why children don't work. or serve in the military. Okay? There's a reason why children don't get tattoos, because they don't have the mental capacity to function and make these high-level decisions of what an adult would. Okay? But yet somehow it became okay for the children to be like, I'm a girl now, and, well, let's carve you up, Johnny.
Yeah. It's a scary thought.
Nothing to do with trans people. That's its own separate issue.
Right. Well, they're masking it. It's being masked. It's being masked behind a lot of different things.
It's being used.
Right. It's a
by
tool.
people pushing something
agenda.
on children. It's an agenda.
Right. There's an agenda going on without question.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. I mean, when I was little, I genuinely thought I was a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
It's that kind of, right. It's that kind of,
Like,
I mean, it's just crazy. It's what it is.
Why I have a daughter who's an adult now. I'm an old man. Okay? But when she was little, I told her some crazy thing where I was like, I don't know if I had like a bone spur in my knee or something like that, but I was like, I made up some crazy story. Like, look, a vampire came and put a rock in my knee and something like that. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it was crazy, right? And then I just go on with my day because whatever. And then, later on, she tells me, she's like, I believed that for years.
Right.
And she's
Easily
smart.
Influenced.
And she's smart. All right? But she was a kid.
Right.
And she believes anything that will be told. And this is for any kid ever. If you're convincing and in a position of authority to them,
right.
you could make them believe anything.
That's right.
And this is where my other issue comes in, because I have a feeling that there's certain parents out there that are pushing this on their own kids as a sort of like, look at me. Look at how progressive I am, that my child is this. Because, like I said, any kid will say anything and believe anything. And if you make it if you make it sound that awesome, of course they're going to want to do it. But what's going to happen when that kid grows up and realizes they have had irreversible surgery?
I mean, it's not that surprising.
It's not going to be good.
I mean, even outside of the whole, like, pushing things on your kid in terms of, like, gender stuff. Quick side note. We're just three guys, we don't mean to offend. We don't mean, like, if we say something insensitive or we offend you, we're sorry about that.
It's not our intention.
Not our intention in the slightest. We're not the most well-versed.
In fact, to add to that, I'll say I want our audience to be as diverse as possible.
Yeah,
because we're all being lied to. We're all in it together.
The government's trying to screw all of us. But
and it goes deeper than that. But we'll get to all that.
We're not the most well versed in political correctness, so if we say something, we're genuinely sorry.
Sure.
Right.
But that being said, the whole thing about, like,
you know what race group we hate? Just go.
Right. Exactly.
The whole thing about, like,
Just
parents
kidding.
pushing stuff on kids. We've seen it for the longest. You have parents that are, like, pushing, like, hey, be a doctor. Hey, do this. And it's completely because the parent wants to gloat that their kid is a doctor,
Sure.
that their kid is a lawyer.
Sure.
And now we're seeing the evolution of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Except now it's physically harming children.
Right. But you also have to understand in a sick way, right, that these parents are also brainwashed. Right? These parents don't see, I don't believe anyway. I don't believe that a lot of these parents even see what they're doing. I think they're lost. I think they're lost in the idea. They're lost in, we're living in such a crazy society where everything is a like. Mm-hmm. Everyone's thirsty for that like. Everyone needs that like. And you become so obsessed with it.
Sure.
That you want that, right? And you want to be a part of something. You need to be a part of. I want to grow. I want to be. That's why people join clubs. Fraternities. They want to be a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It makes them feel a sense of community. If you will, right?
Yeah, sure.
So people are having that, and now they're so caught up in that it's affecting their family. Which, just like anything else, it's a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are so brainwashed that they're going with this program, and really what it is it's a cult. That's really what it comes down to. And we'll get into all that kind of stuff, too. But these people are, they're just
so you're basically alluding that there's an agenda coming down. And these people are not realizing because they're so brainwashed with what is being pushed on them by the mainstream media.
Right.
How progressive and
which
accepting
is easy
to be
do.
involved.
I don't like.
And like I said, consenting adults all good in the hood.
Well, of course.
You know,
Of course.
don't
But
hurt anybody. Do your thing.
Right. But the
Children
thing
who
is
don't
they're
have the
pushing
capacity,
it. And they're pushing it. They're pushing it on people.
per their parents.
Right. But here's the right. And if the parents say it's okay, who's to stop the parents? Not, you know what I mean? Who's going to go, hey, this how you know, even though, hey, don't get me wrong, I don't want to see that, right?
Mm.
I don't. But then now, if it becomes normal, right? If they can make it normal, now they can have that argument. Well, we've always mutilated kids. What's the big deal?
Mm.
What are you, an ism? What are you this? What are you that? You know, so like, you know, it's there's always that question of where do you draw the line? Where do you, you know, and to me, it's, if you're going to hurt kids, that's it. It's a simple line. It's a simple line for me.
There's nothing much lower than that.
Right.
It's about the lowest thing you could do.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, this is, and then if we're going to talk about,
But now you can have the luxury of having a Bud Light while you do it.
well,
This
is the thing.
That's the best part about it.
So now,
If you want to kick back and relax and talk about mutilating a child, do it over a Bud Light.
now we have the Bud Light with Dylan Mulvaney, and everyone gets outraged. Couple things being accomplished there. Number one, we're fighting with each other yet again.
Always.
The trans community is now, being connected to this. What did they really even have to do with it, right? Somebody
Are we hearing any
somewhere
trans outrage?
decided
anywhere?
for this, and it becomes a whole social issue, and there's people just trying to live their lives that are trans,
Well, that's my question. Is there trans outrage? Are there like trans groups that are like, hey, you know, we're against A, B, and C or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, are people? Because I feel
there
like
is people pushing back on the stuff with kids.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's not
That's kind of
just
what
the
I'm
trans
saying, right?
community, it's the gay community, the LGBTQ community. They're
Okay.
pushing back on the stuff
I mean,
with
yeah.
kids.
So they're seeing it too, and they're coming out
Mhm.
and they're saying, hey, look, we're not with this either.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have.
See, so that's good. That's good.
That
but
is
I wonder,
good. That's how it should be.
and I wonder
This is
culturally
adult
because
stuff.
no one's talking about it. So I wonder culturally if that's being like held quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that go against the agenda? You know what I mean? Like, oh no, we don't want to hear about.
Right. They'll
We
be
don't want to hear about
silenced.
Right, we don't want to hear about the community that doesn't want to sexualize
They'll
children.
never be on the
Oh, yeah,
mainstream
100%.
media, but they're out
We
there.
don't
I mean,
hear about them.
that's the thing. Like, I mean, you have Caitlyn Jenner, arguably probably the most famous person to come out as trans lately. You know, I think what were they, like, Person of the Year or something along those lines? And
She was Woman of the Year
yeah, she was Woman
after
of the
being
Year.
a woman for less than 1 year.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
That happened.
But but
Interesting.
she is against the child surgeries,
Right.
and her own community, the trans community, is attacking her for that.
See, that's what. Yeah. Okay. Right.
But like that's what I mean. Maybe to your point, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like is it really the trans community, or is it this minority of it that's louder than everybody else, while regular trans people are trying to live their lives?
Well, that's exactly the thing. The trans community is just like any other community. Just like, for example, you could have like the term as broad as like Christians. You have like the hardcore ones. Then you have the ones that are more like, friendly. Like there's such a huge spectrum in the trans community that it's like
Hardcore.
It's not
hardcore or friendly. I like that.
I mean, yeah, not the best not the best example, but you understand the gist of it.
Right.
And it's like it's just like the whole thing where like they were
It's
like
like a porno search.
oh god. Like the whole thing where they were like destroying like the cans of Bud Light in like outrage. I think that's that's a bit much. Because I mean,
stupid.
yeah, I understand because I understand the whole like
shooting cans of.
Right,
I understand the whole.
Over the top. I thought it was hilarious, but it's over the top.
Oh, it's hilarious,
Right,
but
yeah.
it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it could go politically. You could run so many directions with that thing.
I mean, yeah, I understand the whole like you're not a fan of like the agenda being pushed on you, but like I think that's a bit much.
Yeah.
But it was done on purpose, is my point.
Right.
To
Oh,
not
yeah.
only
Oh,
get people fighting,
All this is.
but what else? Distraction.
Yeah.
Distraction, because of what's really going on out there. The Twitter
There's a lot
files,
going on.
where the government was actively suppressing freedom of speech through, the old executives over at Twitter, banning people, telling Twitter to take down posts and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a big deal.
Absolutely.
The story about with what's his name, Seymour Hersh, the reporter. He has a story about how Biden and the Biden administration blew up the Nord Stream pipeline.
Nord Stream pipeline. Yeah, that's nuts too. Nobody's talking about that anymore.
Nobody's talking about that.
That went away real fast.
But instead, everyone's losing their mind about Bud Light.
It's important to keep us distracted.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Exactly. Got to keep us distracted.
Exactly.
I mean,
mandatory.
I mean, the White House even came out with a statement on the Bud Light
they passed
situation.
Yeah, they passed something recently. I think they passed. What was it? It was that they weren't going to allow the girls to play, or they weren't going to allow the trans women to go against.
Yeah, that was
compete against women.
That was in England.
No, that was the House of Representatives.
The House of Representatives did something here recently.
Passed that.
Think,
yeah,
right?
they were able to pass
Right.
that. It still has to go to the Senate.
Right.
The Senate is democratically controlled, so it's probably not going to go anywhere.
Right.
But
I know in Great Britain they banned trans females from swimming competitions over there. That just happened within the past couple of weeks.
But yeah, so they're trying to get that passed. But I mean, even then it has to go to Biden, and he's not going to sign that.
Right.
I mean, that's a whole other topic. But but getting back to Dylan Mulvaney, so like this person has received a lot of hate and heat and all that, and that's not for me.
Oh, you also got to deal with Nike too. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about the Bud Light thing, but nobody's talking about Nike.
What's up with Nike?
Nike sponsored them too.
Oh, Nike did too.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But again, I got no problem with Dylan running around and doing whatever, but I do have a problem when Dylan's at the White House talking to Joe Biden about making it more accessible for children to get these surgeries.
Right.
That's where you lost me.
Well, how about this? I just thought of this right now. Is there like a little 10-year-old lobbyist in a suit who goes to Washington every day with like his suitcase and he's like, "Hey everybody, we need transitions. We need more." You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this representative? Who is this person?
I wish there was.
I mean, I know it. I don't know. Like, seriously, right? I mean, think about it. I just thought about that right now. Like, who is this? Who is this person who has decided that they know everything about any child that could ever be?
I feel like I can tell you who that is right now.
Does that kind of make sense? Who's this all-seeing eye that knows this about kids everywhere?
I genuinely feel like I can tell you right now.
Go ahead.
And that's Big Pharma.
Well,
that's the ones pushing all these hormones and the ones essentially using these kids as guinea pigs because these are untested treatments.
This is one
I do kind of
level
like
up.
Well played,
Big
Mr.
Pharma
Producer. Well played.
Yes. Big Pharma is definitely
they
part
the game.
of this.
That's for sure.
I mentioned hormone blockers.
Yes.
And
surgeries.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of money that they're going to make. The amount of money. Now, not only that, but let's say, for instance, someone regrets this transition, whatever, they get older, they said, and now they're going to maybe have corrective surgeries or more surgeries or whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, as an adult, you can do whatever you want. It's all good. Mm-hmm. Do what you like as an adult and be, as long as you're not hurting kids, who cares, right? Do whatever you want. Don't hurt kids, don't hurt other people, but
it's all it boils down to.
It's just it's a lot of money. It's a very interesting twist on it to think about that, to say that Big Pharma stands to gain because they do that. Actually, I like that. I like that theory.
They stand to gain for the long term too.
All over the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
in many different ways.
It's not just one surgery that these kids have too. It's multiple surgeries, and sometimes again because it's so experimental. Like there are very small amount of surgeons that have done these things before. So a lot of times there are complications. And when there are complications, they got to go back and fix those.
And this is like the first wave of like mass, all of this.
These kids are guinea pigs.
Yeah. And you pharmaceutical that's companies. Why you don't they don't allow kids to get tattoos. I mean, these are like some simple examples. If I could give like an example that I think like a little kid could understand, right? Or a young person could understand, right? The reason you can't get a tattoo is because you're not always making the best moves.
You're an idiot, and you would eat sugar all day.
You're not gonna there's like some basic stuff that you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to have some life lessons first before you make a choice on something. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's any more than that. I don't think it's any crazier than that. But they're saying a teacher can help a kid go through a transition in certain states.
It's getting really
they can hide
you.
They can hide it, right?
In Washington, they passed a law.
What if your kid came home with like some awesome face tattoos that your teacher took him to go get?
I did do.
No, I mean, listen, I'm asking.
Yeah,
right? This
he
is
comes
like a
home
real
smoking.
He comes home
smoking
home,
square.
He's like, "Yo, what's up, Pop?" You know what I mean? Like, no, and he's got a face tattoo, and he's like, "No, I know this is what I want. You
What's
know
the
what I'm
difference?
I mean,
these
it's
are
a-
adult.
it's-
This is adult stuff.
These
It's
are,
a-
What's
these
the
are
difference?
adults, right? It's his body,
Tattoos are
Right.
even less
He wants to make
permanent
the
than these
choice.
surgeries too.
right? Oh, without question.
It's
Yeah,
like-
no,
it's-
yeah. But I'm
it's-
just saying the ridiculous level of it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Once
that
you
the
put it in a
kids-
perspective of other
Right.
things that children are not allowed to
Right.
do because
Right.
their brain can't handle it,
yeah,
I
it
mean,
they
becomes
can't
very
remember,
clear that
yeah.
this is should not be happening.
I mean,
Right.
even look at it this way: Trump, polarizing figure, but the age to smoke was raised to 21. No one,
bad-
no
not a
one,
bad idea.
yeah, it was raised, and no one was like, oh, it's a bad idea. 'Cause, kids should not be doing, they shouldn't be smoking. An 18-year-old should not be smoking. An 18-year-old should not be drinking alcohol. I'd even argue to like raise like the age of adulthood to like 21, because I don't think 18-year-olds know jack shit.
No.
But
Agreed.
yeah, but
But the fact-
listen, you got to be young enough to pick up a gun.
yeah,
That's
but
how they decide, because they got to send you to war.
Oh,
How
yeah.
young can you be before they send you to war?
government
That's how
strikes
they,
again.
That's how they measure that, buddy.
But another thing is just like these surgeries. I mean, not only are they new, but in the permanence of it. But what a lot of people don't like to talk about is what they have to do post surgeries, which is like, let's say you transition into a girl. You have to, for every day, or at least I think every day, I could be wrong, but for the rest of your life, you have to stick something in your artificial vagina, and you have to crank it to keep it open, or it will close. And if it
Yeah, 'cause
closes,
it's an open wound.
yeah,
Mhm.
and if
Your
it
body wants to
closes,
close, yeah.
you could get
Get
an
an
infection and
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
So
It's
for
an open
for the
wound.
rest of your life, you have to do that, and that's
They don't
being
talk about that.
and that's being pushed on kids.
The
It's
word,
really,
the
really
word,
sad.
yeah, it is. But the word crank really made me. It got me. I'm
Yeah,
not
you-
gonna-
you said crank
Yeah.
and I
Why?
laughed.
When you got giggled too, I was kind of like, ooh. You crank it.
Try
You
not
gotta
to be
crank
insensitive.
it open. Yeah,
The
I'm
man
trying to
said
be insensitive
crank.
either. He said crank.
Yeah, but
This is the worst part.
it's sad. And then there's, again, never will be in the mainstream, but there's people who've come forward who have regretted doing this. And
Yeah.
it's just really sad. They wish that, because what they talk about is how everyone along the way was just like, let's go. No, you're good. Go for it. The
of
doctors, the
course. Yeah, it's
psychologists,
trending.
everybody they talked to was just
Trending.
pushing them along. And, you it's like positive reinforcement. And then the next thing you know, they have to do this stuff. And some people have health problems that they have to deal with as like repercussions from the surgeries. And, I hate to say it, but there is a suicide factor that is related to this. And it's never talked about on, mainstream networks.
Yeah, well-
And it's an actual statistic involved in this. And so it's just, God, just leave the kids out of it.
Here's a simple thought too. It's like, I can't believe that the guy who you came to buy a car from wants to sell you a car, right? So it's the same thing with doctors. When you go in there, that guy wants to do the surgery. Yeah, what else do you need, buddy? He's like it's like going to get like an oil change. Like, hey, while I'm down here, your headlights out. Might as well
money
handle this.
involved.
Yeah, there's money involved, right? I don't hate doctors. We need doctors. Doctors are important. Relax, everybody. We need them.
This guy said we don't need doctors.
He's anti-doctor. I knew it. Right. So, it's their job. They make money off surgeries. They make money doing this, right? And that's the other problem is now, just like the parent, like we were talking earlier about, the kid looks to the parent. Well, that parent looks to the doctor because that's the expert. That's the expert in some stuff that we've never done before. Hey, this thing like you were talking about, experimental stuff, right? The drug companies, they're making money, right?
Who's motivating
Right,
the
so,
doctors? So big pharma,
right? So you can make, and these are things that we all know, but people want to have, debate on. These are simple things.
I mean, even then, it's not just big pharma, because when you think about it, like, how do hospitals get their money? It's not just like through like pharma stuff. A lot of it's donations.
It's huge.
And
a lot of donations. Yeah.
being pushing these things, being on board with these things, they'll get you a few more donations from
the people pushing this
They'll get you
agenda.
They'll get
Right.
you more donations.
Right. And even if it's let's just say people come out later on, however like, hey, maybe it was a bad idea to push this on kids and so on and so forth. It's like, yeah, okay.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's,
I don't want to say what's going to be the cause.
right, but like, yeah, but it's,
it's going to happen.
Who's going to be held responsible? No one. They're just going to say, hey, sorry, whoops, my bad.
I mean,
Of course.
You know,
It's like no one got fired on 9/11.
It's just going to be like, oopsies.
Not one person got fired at 9/11.
I mean, even look at it this way, like the whole vaping thing, because we didn't have enough like stuff to know if vaping was actually healthier than like smoking cigarettes or stuff. Like everyone was saying like, oh, we don't know how bad it is. Like, don't do it. We don't know how bad this is, but everyone's like, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've made it trendy. They've made it a social issue.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, again, an adult, don't hurt anybody. You're free. You should be free to make your own decisions.
Absolutely.
Leave the children alone.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and turning these little boys into drag queens and having them do drag shows and all that.
Taking them to drag shows. Taking them to the gay pride parade when I've got obviously no problem with gay pride. You should be prideful in the way you feel, but having guys walking around with their friggin' penises out.
Yeah.
And there's children there.
I mean,
it's a place. Here's the thing, and this is what I was telling people in the beginning. And now it's coming out a little bit more because people are learning a little more about it. But the issue is it's the sexualization of a child, right? So if you're going to sexualize a child.
That's what it all boils down to.
Right. And you're exposing a child, not accidentally. Not, I walked in on mom and dad having a wrestling match, okay? Not that.
Different.
Not that.
This is my mom and dad took me to a place and I saw some dude schlong walking down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Doing a little dance.
Right. And I was
supposed to be like, yay about that.
Well, here's the thing, it's what am I looking at? So that's the question, right? So now you're exposing the kid to that, right? Now, I'm not saying mom and dad want to sexualize the kid or anything like that. They want to be inclusive. They want to make sure they understand. Maybe, dude, gay uncle, gay cousin, right? They're going, hey, listen, we're inclusive with our family and all that other stuff. Totally, in my opinion, acceptable. And everyone has a different opinion.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But to go to to go anywhere, okay? It's the same reason like I can't take my 12-year-old nephew. I want to take my 12-year-old nephew and go, hey, I'm gonna show you what it's like to be a man. Right? And I take him to the strip club. They're gonna say, "No, dude, you can't
what are you?
12-year-old? What are you, a psychopath?
Psychopath?
Right? Yeah,
get this kid out of here.
Get him out of here.
Take this
Right?
kid to get a Happy Meal. Get out of here.
Right.
Get this kid off the escalator and get him the hell out of
Right.
here.
It's an adult activity, right? And in my opinion,
It's the same
that
exact
parade
thing.
is an adult activity.
Yeah.
And I
There's
encourage
sexual
it, have fun.
connotation
There's right.
included.
Have all the fun you want.
Yeah.
That's
For
great. Enjoy it.
adults.
For adults, right?
Yes.
100%.
And anyone, there's no reason to sexualize a child unless you are looking to have sex with that child, right? So it's like, why would you want to take away a child's innocence, right? Why would you want to do something like that?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Exactly.
Now I'm not saying every homosexual person wants to hurt a child. That would be ridiculous.
It's
Or a tranny, or
100% not
putting,
true.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not putting any of that, which is why earlier, we said there's people pushing back.
But they
against,
push these
this is
agendas
about
to tie
children.
it together.
They want to use it as a front.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They want to use it as a front, and they're doing it. They don't want to. They're doing it, and the reason they're using
And
it
who's
as a front.
The bad guys.
Yes, the bad. Well, yeah, we'll
We'll
refer to them as the bad
eventually
guys. Yeah,
get
we'll-
into
yeah.
who they
We'll refer to them as the
are.
bad guys for now,
For
but
now, yeah.
they're using it as a front.
It's not happening naturally. This is agendas being pushed down. Go ahead,
Right.
sir.
No, they're using it as a front, just like they use BLM as a front.
Mm-hmm.
So they've moved on from that. And and a lot of people don't know this, but inside of BLM, there was a lot of money that went to trans activists. So a lot of the money that BLM, follow the money, a lot of money that BLM got,
idea.
all that money that flew into them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were pushing trans activities and other trans
Those drag shows.
Yes, communities and the drag shows. They were paying that money, so that money that came into them went into this, and it's their new front. So the BLM front was Black Lives Matter. Now there's a new front over here, and they can go back fluidly because they're passing money to each other, right? And there were a lot of people who went, well, because some people got smart and started looking at BLM and going, why is all that money going over there? I thought this was Black Lives Matter.
Right. Why isn't it
Why is
going
it going
into the
on-
communities
why is it going
to
all
help
over here? I don't
black
understand.
people?
And everyone can
And
look at this. Just look at the Black Lives Matter taxes.
People
You can
yeah.
look at this.
Yes,
Mhm.
please. Everyone, please fact check me.
Yeah.
I want to please look at all this stuff. I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. Okay. But that is a funny coincidence that there's a new front that they're pushing because nobody talks about BLM anymore. Now this is the new campaign, the new crusade. So they're hiding behind this, and they're hiding behind someone. They're using a terrible past of hate and bigotry to push an agenda today. You know, and that's their goal and their objective, and they're great at it. They're awesome at
the
it.
bad
Unfortunately,
guys,
that's what's scary.
they are evil genius,
Yes.
and they
Yes.
they are masters of what's the word? Nefarious
Oh, absolutely.
plans
Deception.
and agendas
Yes.
and lies and everything.
I mean, they're just
Right.
masters of manipulation.
manipulation. That's how
Yes.
everybody's
They'll
fighting
turn
with
your
each other.
empathy into something of hate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then
Absolutely.
so then that way, so now Dylan Mulvaney's on a Bud Light can, and
Yeah.
that could lead to fights in your own family.
Right. Separation. Right. Yeah, exactly. Now we hate each other. I'm not going to talk to cousin so-and-so because, you know, it's like, dude, relax. Well, you know what
All
makes
on
me
purpose.
laugh?
All on purpose.
You know what makes me laugh? I actually heard about, they were saying that, I just thought this was like a cool concept. They're talking about how they want to get away from like the frat boy kind of idea.
Bud Light?
Bud Light, yeah. So Bud Light's
the lady. Right?
Okay, so you heard about this.
Mhm.
Okay, so I want to get away, and I don't, you know, I'm not.
So the
quoting
lady
her.
was like the new, what is not
Representative,
president
CEO,
or
or
like
handler.
something, yeah,
PR
new boss,
person?
PR
yeah,
person.
something
She's
along
in
those
charge
lines.
of this.
Right.
She
Something.
made this happen.
So she was like, so she's like, you know, we want to kind of get away from that frat. We're moving into a new direction,
More
and all this other
inclusive.
stuff, more inclusive, and everything else. And so I thought, man, like, and I was just thinking about this. I'm like, you suck at advertising, right? Obviously, right? This is really bad. I mean, they lost like billions of dollars. Like, this is terrible, right? When in reality, because it and where she messed up was, and I'm not. Listen, I don't do any advertisement. I'm sorry, Bud Light. Okay, sorry if maybe you should have hired me. All right, maybe you should have hired me. I could have hooked you up. Right. So
it definitely wouldn't have turned into this.
no, well, no. I would have kept it inclusive, and what I would have done was I would have had a frat boy setting, like your normal Bud Light commercial, right? Like, why get rid of the old stuff? Like, keep it fresh. The old stuff is good, right? And then have like a super jacked dude there, but in a dress. So Mulvaney, this guy, what is it? I don't want to say his name wrong. Dylan
Mulvaney.
is he's too skinny and petite. You need a jacked dude who can crush Bud Lights with the bros. You know what I'm saying? And then you might have a better chance at reaching out to people. You know what I'm saying? One of the bros
A
kicking
masculine trans woman.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yoked,
Who's
though.
yoked.
Just yoked.
Straight yoked. Straight
yoked.
shotgunning Bud Light.
Yeah.
And Bud Light people would have been like, oh, hell yeah.
Got it. We're in.
Well, that's
tattooed up, holding guys for kickstands,
yeah.
one hand. You
Yeah.
know, then boom. Not only are we inclusive, but we're also hitting our old demographic.
and that's the
Thank
thing.
you.
Everyone's happy.
Winning. I shouldn't have given that away for free. I should not have
You
given
should
that
have
away
kept
for
that. That's
free.
a good one.
That was a gem.
You're gonna see
welcome.
some other like
missed out,
beer
Bud Light.
company doing
Yeah.
it.
I expect to get paid from that. Thank you.
If it ever happens, and we know they stole
Right.
his idea.
That's the only
so.
way.
We were first.
That would have been fine. It wouldn't have been a big deal.
I actually like that.
But that's the thing. Like these companies, they have like marketing teams. So there's no way that a marketing team who knows what their demographic is.
Well, they allege that
Can you look up real quick?
she didn't know or something.
New
like
Bud Light
that,
commercial.
well, she knew, but other people didn't know.
Have
I
you-
mean, it's just
have you
crazy,
heard
like-
about the new commercial from Bud Light.
I think the horses are back.
The
Something
horses,
like that. Yeah. The horses are back.
They went full
Right.
like
Yeah. Exactly.
they're trying to get the boys back. You know,
Yeah.
They're
The
trying
boys
to-
are
Come
back
on
in
back,
town.
the boys are
come
back
on
in
back.
town to get on this horse.
The good old boys ain't having that. They're like, I'm good.
See
No,
if you
thank
find
you.
that
You know what? I've never seen
new
a
Bud Light
backlash.
commercial horse. See
I've
if
never
it-
seen a backlash like this before ever.
That's what I
Personally.
mean. It's
pretty-
wild, but it's also
pretty
like fanning the
insane.
flames of distraction.
Yeah,
It's
well,
so clear.
because they're making it about being gay, and that's not what not for me anyway. For me, it has nothing to do with that because I don't have a problem with that.
I don't
That
drink.
doesn't bother me.
I don't drink beer because I'm straight, and I don't drink beer because I'm gay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's that whole agenda thing that's the issue. And I think people are seeing it. I mean, that's why we're talking about it. People are seeing it. Clearly, that's why there's a backlash.
That
you
one.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. We're back, baby. The horses are back.
Now this is what I want to think about
Oh my God.
when I'm drinking a Bud Light.
Any type of alcohol.
A horse in the city.
In the city.
Hell
I
yeah.
like it.
St.
Whoa,
Louis.
St.
Louis.
Louis,
Let's
it's
go, baby.
snowing.
Let's go. Getting after it.
Boom.
Dude, because that happens every day.
Dude,
Yeah.
shake it
Two
up.
bros.
Man. Raise the colors.
Flag. Get them up. Get them up, baby. This horse doesn't play around.
It's a really nice horse too.
Man.
It's a very, it's on a mission.
Yeah.
Unite us. Bring us
Very
back.
good. Very good.
One World Trade Center in the background there.
I like how they made
Right eye symbolism.
Hold on. Am
We had
I
some-
wrong here?
some
I might be
eye
missing
symbolism.
something. I might have just caught something. I think
Bud's
it's
for you.
amazing.
It's Bud's for you. And
That-
people are still like, nope.
I'm pretty sure that entire
Take that horse and take it right to the glue factory. Go ahead. People don't care. They don't like it.
No, but I think that I don't know if you noticed it, but it was all dudes in that commercial, and they were all.
there was
There
a
was
girl.
one
There was one
woman
woman. She was like
raising the
raising the
flag.
flag. She
Yeah.
looked like
Yeah,
a
but then
like
there was
Native
other,
Native
but then
American
the other
descent.
ones,
Yeah.
but then the other ones were dudes hugging each other and like loving each other. There's two dudes on the porch, like.
Mhm.
So I love how they made the not gay commercial.
It's a complete opposite
Just
of
bros
that
hugging,
campaign.
bros loving each other. It's cool, man. No worries.
I would have loved,
I
though,
love it.
if your muscular trans
That would have
woman
been
would've
amazing.
came-
That would have been amazing.
Everyone would have loved it. It would have been they would have been spot on. People would have been crushing it, going for
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
like
Just
some
life
like
of the party.
yeah, like some like girl to guy like
That'd be
trans like
great.
bodybuilder
yeah,
like
pressing bros at the
Oh,
frat
yeah.
party. Bro,
like one guy on
Keg
the
stands,
one
dude.
guy on it just each
100%.
side.
That would have sold.
Mhm.
That would have sold. Just
Shit, somebody might offer you a job.
just beef. I got ideas, dude. I got ideas.
Advertisement.
Yeah, I'm smart. I know stuff sometimes. I think it's cool, you know?
So I think it's pretty clear. We have no problem with trans people. Live your life. Don't hurt anybody.
Crush
you know,
it.
that's all anyone can ask.
Bud Light.
Leave the
if
kids
you want to.
alone.
I mean, even
And
these,
just know that Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney and the can, that was a distraction. Everyone.
100%.
Jesus Christ.
Like even everything, like even the gay parade, that's fine. I've gone to a gay parade. My best friend he's a homosexual man, and I went with him, and it was fun.
Did you
was
kiss him?
It was a fun parade.
Did you kiss him? Don't lie. Tell the
It's
truth.
not gay to kiss the homies goodnight.
See,
It really
there-
isn't. You know,
that's fine. Hey, listen. It was
The
yes or
key,
no.
the key to it all.
Eyes open or eyes closed?
socks on, eyes closed.
Socks on, eyes closed.
Okay.
All right.
Rules. Listen, the key
I
to
know
it
about that.
is-
That's cool. I like it.
the key is, were you guys adults or were you children?
We're adults, 100%.
All right, perfect.
That's
Done.
amazing. Quick question. Were you adults? Yes, we were. Thank you.
That's
But
all
yeah.
I needed to know. Then you have fun at the gay pride parade. 'Cause
Just everyone.
That's it.
I'm sure it is fun for
So I
adults.
love-
It's fun.
How many guys?
Adults.
How many guys right now? This is the thing that's kind of more funny to me than anything else. Like, let's say you're a guy who doesn't even care about the topic at all. Let's say you're oblivious to it. You don't know what's going on. There's plenty of people like that. They have no idea what's going on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're drinking a Bud Light. They're at the bar and they order a Bud Light, and just everyone pauses. And
They're just staring at him.
like, how many?
Like
of those-
side-eyeing
How
him.
many of those were there? But he's oblivious. He doesn't know. This guy doesn't have an
know.
opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now he's like, but I thought Bud Light was the best, worst beer on earth. You know what I mean? Like, I just love.
I've
that
heard
story.
it's a thing at like bars and stuff.
This
where
is my
people
favorite
don't
cheap
order
beer.
Bud Light.
That's pretty
Like people are getting upset.
serious.
This is what I've heard.
I mean, hey, look, good for them. You know, yeah, you stand by
Whatever.
something. You stand for something. You stand for something. Hey, it's up to you. You know, like, I mean, it's a lot of money.
Either way, it's
Billions
got
of
nothing to do
dollars.
with me. Just
Well, no,
it's
not
a
about
distraction.
anything.
So, but yeah, that's
pretty funny. Well, and everyone's gotten so touchy about everything. You know, we've brought it up a million times. You know, don't relax, chill out, everything's cool. Do you know what I was thinking about today? And I don't know if you remember this.
Mhm.
Remember, like when the internet was free, like when you could do anything on the internet. There was there was wild shit on the internet. Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
was
Like,
never part of that, but I've heard.
It used to be the way
I've heard
YouTube used
about
to be
it.
the Wild
there
West.
used to be, it used to be
It was
crazy
just
stuff, right?
Truth City out there.
But now everybody freaks out, right? So I was thinking about that, as I often do, and I was thinking about a website that I used to go to all the time, and I'm not joking around. It was called uglypeople.com. And it was just like there's like it's a true story. It's a true story. Uglypeople.com. You could go on it, and it was just a page, and then like it gave you categories: male, female, like everything, blonde hair, brown. Like you could click on all these things, and then just some ugly ass motherfucker would just pop up on the screen, and it was like yes, like look, and then you could laugh about it for like an hour. Like you could call friends, like
Just point and laugh.
it was it was amazing. It was amazing. And now you can't have anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
you can't go, hey, who's that mutant? You know what I'm saying? You just have to go, oh, poor guy or whatever. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was amazing. And it was pages and pages and pages. I don't think
It used to be
That
the
gets into
Wild
making
West.
people more sensitive. Everybody's got to be more sensitive.
everyone's
now.
got to be sensitive. It was just fun.
But everyone
It
still
was funny.
finds these things. It's like they say, like, you know, oh, let's not show this. Everyone still finds a way. Curiosity always kills a
Oh,
cat.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, the YouTube used to be the Wild West. Like, you used to see gore videos on YouTube.
Well, that's what I
It
mean.
was
That's subtle.
It was
Yeah.
completely It used to be completely unmonitored. I mean, nowadays, what? You have to wait, like, a few minutes before you can curse. Otherwise, you get, like, demonetized or something.
It's
But
like
no,
that's
15
kind of-
minutes. or
yeah,
but no,
something.
in the beginnings of YouTube, like I
Well, not
don't
only
like
that,
to
but-
remember it, but Two Girls One Cup was a thing everyone could watch on there.
Ooh, Two
Guess
Girls,
what? Guess
One
what?
Cup.
I'm so happy I never
What
watched
up?
that fucking video.
I didn't watch it
Don't.
either.
I never watched
They
it.
tried to
I'm
get me to
sure you
watch it. I
watched
never
Don't.
did.
A couple of times.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Don't. Well, I watched it in segments. I got braver as time went by. So, like, I would watch, like, the first video. Everyone's like, keep waiting. I'm like, I can't. I don't want to watch anymore. No, please wait. Just wait. And then I got to the end. It was a chocolate fountain. And it was, I mean,
Hey, can you pull up the video?
it
Two
was,
girls, one cup.
it was intense.
Let's watch it for the first
I mean,
time.
if you look up chocolate soft serve,
No,
you're going to get the
I
exact
hope-
same
don't even
thing.
say those
It's
words.
just-
I
it's
really
the
hope there's
exact same
people that
Don't
have
say
no
those
idea what we're
words.
talking about,
Yeah.
and they're just really confused
It's
about
gross.
what it is.
We're gonna start it over again. Yeah, for the new
Two
trend. It's gonna
girls,
come
one
back.
cup.
It's
Jesus
gonna come
Christ.
back. Speaking of stuff that comes back, do you know what I like to do sometimes? I like to use old slang.
Okay.
Like if I go on like a trip or something,
Mm.
so like I can say like I'm like let's say I go somewhere and I'm out of town, right? So I can say you're out of town. So like let's say you've never met anyone from Chicago before, and you're like, oh my god, like this guy, you know? But then I'm using like old slang, so then they think like
That's how everybody
you
talks.
really
out
said?
there.
Yeah. That's how everybody- right now they're confused. And then like you have to make your friends do it too. And then that's the word of the trip
Mm-hmm.
is some kind of like old. Like I was using boss. I used boss one time like super hard for an entire trip. Like someone was asking me something. They're like, oh man, you know, we did this thing. I'm like, what? I'm like, you went there? Like, yeah. I was like, bro, that's fucking boss. And he kind of he looked. He's like, what do you mean by boss? Bring it back, dude. You got to bring those words back, dude.
You got to bring it back.
Help people learn old slang. It's important.
Mhm.
No,
For like
it's
two girls, one cup. Like,
Wild West.
Completely unnecessary.
Wild West.
I mean,
Wildly
you can still
unnecessary.
find weird stuff like that. Yeah, you can still find weird stuff like that on the internet, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can find anything on the internet still if you try
Yeah.
hard enough.
but it was just a
Mhm.
different time. Like, you know, ugly people. They'll never. I don't even think they'll ever. I wonder if it still exists. Can we
Can you
check?
look-
Can we see? Does uglypeople.com still exist? It might be a thing still, right?
It might.
There's got to still be ugly
In a
people
little
out there.
dark corner of the internet, just
People still got to be
laying
ugly.
low,
I don't think that stops, does it?
finding ugly
It
people.
stopped. Just went straight to porn.
Oh God.
Just went straight to porn.
Oh.
Immediately to porn. You have a virus.
Let's
Let's go
not.
there.
Yeah, let's not,
Immediately. That's unreal. Well,
let's not
see?
have the feds
And
knocking on
you
our
know what? This is how the
First
world.
episode.
And this is how the world has changed.
Everything
used
is
to-
now
Sad.
porn.
Yeah, everything's porn now.
And another thing, for you talk about the sexualization of children. Look at how early kids get phones now. Phones are access to tablets. How many
Yes.
parents are really, really on it
Oh,
with
dude.
monitoring them, or they just put it in a friggin' thing,
They're
or then they
really
go to
not.
school, right? So maybe you're monitoring the hell out of your kid, and he goes to school, and little piece of shit, you know, Sarah or whatever is like, hey, check out Two Girls, One Cup.
That's the thing.
And now your
Sarah.
kid's fucking scarred for life.
That's where they
Sarah.
tried to get me to watch it. I was in school and everyone was like, "Hey, did you check out this
Jesus.
video? Two Girls, One Cup." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "I've heard of it. I
Man,
don't want to
It
watch
scares
it."
me.
It sounds awful.
I can't imagine. I try like people can like you, Mr. Producer. You have no idea. You have no idea what it's like trying to masturbate to a printout. It's
You're talking about like
It's
Playboy
torture.
or like you
It's
actually
torture.
printed out
like
an
when
image?
the internet first started, like you would
He printed it out at
you would like
Kinko's.
print out, yeah, you could print out like pictures of like, you know, girls or something, and it's like you're like, ooh, it's almost there, but it's like 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's like
you don't know what that's like. You don't
Like-
you don't
like,
understand.
it'd be like 15 minutes and
The
only
struggle.
half the boob is printed.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you're all pumped because the nipple's on the way. And, oh, here we go. Plus, your parents are on the way home. You know, you have a short window, and it's
You're
like,
like,
hurry,
come on,
hurry.
print.
Yeah. I
Print,
didn't-
damn you.
Dude,
or your
there's
friend
no-
faxed you something.
If I had access, yeah, right. If I had access to porn the way kids have access to porn when I was a kid,
You wouldn't be here right
there's
now.
no way I'd be dead. 100%.
You'd be dead or in jail.
I'd be 100%
Dead
dead.
or in jail.
100%
And not necessarily American jail. It
No,
could be
anywhere. Yeah,
Who knows?
the world.
what's going to happen.
The world.
But
I would have
yeah.
ripped it off at some point.
I
There's
mean-
no way, dude. Like I can't imagine. Like I had to like jump through hoops to get that done. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to use my memory. Like I had to hide porn in places.
Oh,
like
sure.
now I just grab your phone. Like I have a problem now. Like I can't imagine.
It's
when-
almost hard
I can't
to not
imagine what
have
it's like
porn
to be
pop
a-
up on your phone when you're
Right?
just
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
like,
look up
whoa,
anything.
Whoa,
Like,
sorry. I love it.
easy.
One of my favorite things that happens that makes me laugh really hard. Doesn't happen as often because I've gotten control of my addiction. It's gotten better.
Good for you.
When you go to show someone something and you're like, oh yeah, did you hear about poop? And it's just like porn is the first thing that pops up. Like, what? Wait, whoops, not that. Nope, not
No, see, one of my favorite
And then they
things.
really get to know you.
right. Yeah, like whoopsies.
One of my
hell are you
favorite
into?
things
What are
is
you
like,
into?
you know, like I'd be trying to like pirate a movie or something just because I don't want to pay for it, and then you
Right.
gotta, and then
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
In theory,
Allegedly.
You would never
Allegedly.
do
I would
anything
never
like
do
that,
something
but
like
if
that.
you
Or
but you know,
were
if I was
if you
to
wanted
Or
to be
encourage-
a
if I was
rebel,
to
Terrible.
allegedly pirate a movie,
mhm.
I'd have to sit through a bunch of ads that eventually would lead to
Right.
a lot of different sites.
Yeah, that's the problem. No one has to work for it anymore. You got to work for it, man. You know,
And this is
you
again
got to make them work
by
for it.
design. All
Yeah.
on purpose.
No, all that stuff. No, all
Long
that stuff
con.
comes into play. Being overexposed to stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get it because, like I said, I know I would be messed up because I was just a little perv. I was running around. You know what I'm saying? Like, any
Trying to
chance I
get what you
got.
could get.
Dude, me and
Barely getting anything.
Dude, me and my buddy had a stash. Okay, so he had found the stash of Playboys.
That's a-
Playboys and Penthouse. It's
We're
a
off
true
the
story,
rails.
right?
I
Let's
always
do it.
hear about this, and I'm like, how do you guys just like? You guys literally just walk around and just find a
Dude,
stash of
first of all,
magazines
this was-
randomly?
listen,
Walk on
man.
the tracks.
Listen,
if
this
you
is a
if there were
different time,
railroad
okay?
tracks,
All right, this
you
is-
would go walking around. You'd find a little stash.
When we
somewhere.
had a community. All right, this is when we
Telling
went
you.
outside. Okay, this is when we went outside.
So clearly, we're a lot older than Mr.
Yeah,
Producer.
yeah,
but
we're older than Mr. Producer.
That's
But
why.
had this stash. He had found it. It was an old stash that he found in the attic, right?
Mhm.
But I couldn't always get access to the attic. And he's like, dude, I found it. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's naked chicks. I'm like, what? I'm like, get it to me. Like, you know, so he's got the stash, right? So I'm like, so I don't know who came up with the idea. One of us came up with the idea that we could put it in, like, wrap it up in some bags and then leave it outside. And then when our little perverted asses would go outside to, like, play basketball or something, we'd go hit the stash real
Yeah,
quick.
this is really sick.
Oh,
sick,
this is what we would
perverse
do. We were perverted little kids.
behavior,
We were,
yeah.
we were the worst, right?
Yeah.
So so we had a stash. We were good to go. We were golden. You know, that was our stash in the corner. We hid it in between two houses. Dude, these are real things. This is a fact.
Listen,
you know?
a lot of people are resonating with what you're saying.
Oh, that,
I have
right.
a story too.
But
after
if
when
I
you're
was
done,
capable, I want you to think about it. If I was capable of that much work, what kind of terrible shit would I have done with it?
Dude,
I mean,
it's a push of a button.
I might have started my own business. To
You
be honest with you,
see
'cause
the
I mean,
craziest shit
you
you
started
can
your own
imagine.
like your own like porn
my
company.
own porn company. Yeah,
Then you could do your own commercials.
Right, yeah, do my own commercials.
yeah.
Crushing it.
I mean, like even think of it this way, like I've heard some like horror stories of like girls finding like terabytes of porn on their like boyfriend's like computer stuff.
Oh,
Like terabytes. Like people don't.
I
People
assume
don't.
that's a lot.
People don't. Yeah.
yeah.
People don't
Right, I had a
grasp how
terabyte
much
once.
a terabyte is.
I don't.
And
I
that's
had a-
multiple
I had a
terabytes.
Jesus
terabyte.
Christ.
So like, okay, you play Call of Duty, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like Call of Duty is like it's like 100 gigabytes, right?
It's a lot.
Uh-huh.
So a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So it's 10 Call of Duty's whole like worth of memory. 10 whole Call of Duties. And keep in mind, these are like porn videos. So
But
it's
why
like,
is there
it's like a
memory?
20, maybe like a 15-minute video.
Why is their
Yeah.
memory? They save it? Or
Yeah,
is
they
this
save
just-
it. They
Oh,
download
they
it.
gotta have the
They
stash.
download
They
it?
download it.
Stash.
It's their stash now.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. I don't even know. Wow, that's incredible. I mean, with the internet, with
So
all the categories.
let me tell my stupid little story. It's got nothing to do with nothing. But when I was, in like first grade, I had a mustache.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah.
My
For
man.
whatever reason, I had a
man.
mustache
You're an
since I was
early bloomer.
a child. Yeah.
I can
So
tell
when
people
I was
born with one.
14 years old, never forget, I had a full-on mustache, and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it today. I walked into my local 7-Eleven with the confidence of a 25-year-old man, and I went right up to the counter and I said, "Your latest issue of Hustler, sir."
Your latest issue of Hustler.
He's not
And
paraphrasing
he was like,
that
he-
exact words.
No, I said it like that, the confidence. And the guy was like, "Right away, sir." And he came and grabbed it, and I just bought it, thank you. And then I went outside and I started like squealing like a girl.
They used to sell that at 7-Eleven, though?
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just try to catch a glimpse. They were covered, some of it covered in paper.
Every
plastic.
time you're buying your candy or
Titty.
whatever you did, that's where your eyes go.
100%, yeah. You might
I'm gonna
try
buy
to
one of those.
distract the clerk just to get a better view to get him out of your way.
Mhm.
He-
Ooh,
like-
Or you could hope the guy in front of you was buying one, and then you could see the cover come out.
It'd be like covered, like you're trying to buy a Snickers and you just see like a shaved leg
Yes.
like poking out of
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Oh, you could. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
It's like
It's
a
a
box
big
of
deal.
chocolates. You never know
Yeah.
you're gonna
It's a
see.
You
big
never
deal.
know, yeah. Anything could happen.
But yeah, I bought one at 14 years old, and
Yeah.
the guy was
It's
like,
amazing.
it was confidence.
You
That's
were
what it's
did
all
it,
about.
you know?
It's all
you
about
were an early
confidence.
bloomer. I thought I was an early bloomer.
owned it.
No,
I
you
was,
were,
yeah.
You
Yeah,
owned it.
I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding you. I had a mustache at
Yeah.
like friggin' 6 or 7
Yeah, I
years
can't
old.
imagine.
This
I
man
can't
had
imagine what kids
This man
are
had
into now.
abs in 7th grade.
Right.
I was
I was a-
smoking.
I was a man,
I was,
yeah,
like,
exactly. I was smoking, I was
working at
drinking,
an
yeah.
office. It was
I
crazy.
was working out. This is awesome.
His voice dropped 3 octaves in
It was
5th.
awesome.
Latest Hustler, please.
Thanks. The latest hustle. I love that one.
I didn't even know
Your
Hustler was a
latest.
thing. All I know is Playboy.
Oh, Hustler. Hustler's what got it started, man. Hustler was the beginning. That was the raunchy stuff. It was
If Hustler,
You gotta
if
watch,
Playboy was like the GoBots, Hustler was like the Transformers.
Yeah.
Like it was the real
Hustler
deal.
was there was that they went to court. The government sued them, said they couldn't do it. It was like a freedom of speech.
made a movie.
thing.
They couldn't do what?
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. The
Or was that
USA
Penthouse?
versus I think it was USA versus Larry Flint. I think that's what it was,
Was
called.
Larry Flint Hustler or Penthouse?
Hustler. No, Hustler.
Okay. Whatever.
He was Hustler. Who was it that was in there though? What was his
I
name?
know Courtney Love was in it.
Oh my God, Woody Harrelson. There we go.
Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors.
Well, Woody Harrelson plays. Oh, it's a great role.
Might have to check it out.
Woody Harrelson. He'll be coming
Yeah.
up on the pod.
The People versus Larry Flint. That's
I
what it's
hope
called.
not for the worst reasons.
His dad was a contract killer.
Oh, I know that much.
And he was in
Okay.
Dallas when JFK got popped.
That's
what was it called?
wild.
The
That's
Iceman or
wild,
something?
dude.
I don't know if the Iceman was a
the
different
Iceman
guy.
was a different guy. Some
He-
people say
yeah,
the Iceman was a fake.
I don't
That
know.
actual Iceman. He never really.
The real
he was-
Iceman.
Yeah, he was put on a facade. The guy who they locked up. I mean, he was good. He seems like a psycho. He's crazy.
Interesting. What do you think? Next topic?
Yeah.
Let's get it rolling.
I mean, we can talk about some stuff. I guess
We
You
can
don't
talk
wanna-
about porn for 5 more
Why not?
hours.
I mean, I can.
So here's another news story. And by the way, on this podcast, we like to, when we can, pull up articles or videos and,
Yes.
and show you guys, because I feel like we could talk till we're blue in the face, and you might not believe us, and you might not even take the time to look into what we're talking about. So we like to have the proof. Hey, watch it now. This particular episode really doesn't have anything for that, but but the Dalai Lama, and there's a video of him, and this is the thing. I don't want to replay this video, okay? There's a video of the Dalai Lama doing some kind of talk. He's at some kind of event, and look this up if you want. It was very hard for me to watch.
Ugh.
Some kid, little boy, wants to give him a hug. So he comes up, asks him, he gives him a hug. Then it turns out he wants to give him a kiss on the cheek or something. Then the Dalai Lama says, give me a kiss on the lips. Okay. So then the little boy kisses him on the lips. And then the Dalai Lama then says, hey, little boy, suck my tongue. And proceeds to stick his tongue out and leaves the little boy to make a decision. And you just see the goddamn awkwardness. And the kid's almost like, what do I do here? And it was, if I'm being honest, fucking disgusting. Okay?
Right.
And it was coming out. You know, the video came out and people were like, this is, no, it's not a thing. It's like Chinese propaganda. They were saying a lot of stuff like trying to discredit it as even being a thing. And then the Dalai Lama issued an official apology. And my thing is, first of all, this is all too much and disgusting. But like, as the Dalai Lama, he's like the spiritual leader of Tibet, or right?
I don't know how.
Guru,
I mean,
he's some sort of guru,
the Tibet government's a little weird just because China.
The point is, hold on. He should be wise. No, he's supposed to have some wisdom to him. So after he gave his apology, they came. People were coming forward and kind of saying what a prankster he is, and he's just silly.
What?
Yeah,
Come on,
you didn't hear
stop
this
it.
shit.
No.
Yeah, they were like,
So that's
he
been the
does
reaction to
things.
this?
Yeah, he just does things. He's
Oh
not
my God,
meaning
but
it.
his-
He's just making a
everything
joke
about him is
that
creepy.
didn't fucking go on. And you know what? I wasn't prepared for this, and I should have been. But he's got direct CIA ties.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
This
So
is gross.
this is great, right?
I'm watching
So
it
wait.
right now. I just watched it. It's bizarre. It's
Why
all
would you do
bizarre
that to
because,
yourself?
like,
We are.
I haven't really seen it. You know?
We've
So,
talked about doing
Even the way he
companion
describes
videos.
it just disgusts me.
We've talked about doing companion videos, and maybe that should be
Yes.
one where we dive into the Dalai Lama and his CIA ties. So, but yeah, he basically tells a child to suck his tongue, and then
Well, and then there's
doesn't
other kids
get
like,
it.
pulling away from him, like, and he's like holding, like, he's like, and you could tell the kid's uncomfortable, you know. And
You
then
can
he
clearly
does that.
see
That's
it.
the finale. He has a kid sucking something weird.
What if the
Bizarre.
kid did it?
I don't even
Bizarre.
want to
What the
imagine.
fuck? What then?
I don't even want to think of it.
Bizarre.
It's crazy.
It's bizarre.
And then to come out and just be like, hey, he's just making a prank. He's just
He's
silly.
just funning.
He's
just
just
joshing him.
he's just
Funning.
joshing.
No,
Hey, stupid!
right.
Don't do that.
Who jokes around like that? In what culture? Can you find me a culture
Nobody.
that's a regular thing? I mean, maybe you can. I don't know.
What
Maybe I'm wrong.
anybody would ever do
Maybe I'm
say
wrong.
that
I don't know.
shit to a kid?
I wouldn't.
I mean,
I'm
you
just
do
saying,
you
but,
do that
know.
stuff here in the U.S. and you're done. You're canceled.
You know.
Chris is going to jail.
Well, I don't know. It's getting popular now. So
I mean,
who knows?
this again kind of reverts back to the sexualization of children a
Yep.
little bit.
well, it's
that
everywhere
The Dalai
right now.
Lama
It's everywhere.
is getting weird, but in public like that.
Yeah.
Like how the whole entire thing is like
It's all weird.
gross and perplexing. And yeah, watch the video and ugh. I don't know.
That's a good way to summarize it. Just ugh.
Ugh. So yeah, I mean, you know what? The Dalai Lama, he gets our bonehead of the week. Let's start a thing where we give people, hey, bonehead.
Bonehead.
Don't do that, you bonehead. Right?
Ugh.
He's our bonehead of the
Bonehead.
episode.
That's
The
an easy
Dalai
one. That was an
Lama.
easy one. Layup Dalai Lama.
Because he didn't realize it would be inappropriate to tell a child to suck on a body part of his.
I just don't understand how that people. Well, maybe I'm wrong because I haven't really paid that close attention to it. It repulsed me immediately, and like I said,
As it should any normal person.
Yeah, it was so repulsive and disgusting. But like for me, I don't know. I was like, ugh, I don't even want to deal with that. So I didn't. That's why I looked at the video now. I was saying you can see. This is the thing that bothers me: patterns. Right? Anybody who loves math, right? Patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So patterns work with people as well. There's places people like to go, restaurants they like to eat at, things they like to do.
Of course.
When you're seeing patterns in people of behavior, that usually means that that's something that person either likes to do or has a tendency to do. And I saw a pattern there, and the pattern was those kids were all creeped out by his ass. and then the finale was he stuck his tongue out. It's like, all right, let's pretend this isn't the Dalai Lama, right? It's like, hey, what'd you do at the YMCA today? Oh, we played basketball, and then we were in the steam room. Have you ever been to the steam room? Yeah, I've been in the steam room. How was it? Oh man, there was this guy in there, right? He had all these towels on, and then we went up to him. He was really nice, and he gave us a hug, and I was like, oh cool, hey man, yeah, nice to meet you too. I like the steam room. Yeah, me too. And then he like tried to like, I don't know, it was weird, like almost like wrestle with me a little bit. But then I pushed away from him, so everything was cool. And then he stuck his tongue out, and told me to suck it.
We have to go arrest this man.
What?
This is a predator,
Right? Yeah.
and your ass is lucky
No,
you made it out.
No, but it happened to be the Dalai Lama, so it was all good. No big deal.
Nobody walked up. Where was the
Not a
kid's
problem.
dad? Where was the kid's parent?
Well,
I mean, who knows? I mean, don't get me wrong.
No one's going to go up there and smack the Dalai Lama,
it's
but it would have been
weird.
awesome
Yeah.
if that would have happened.
It's a weird thing to happen.
shit.
It's a wrong thing to happen. I think everyone can look at that and just say that is weird and that is messed up. That being said, I don't know if there's some weird
But
like
isn't-
Tibetan cultural thing that we're
Right.
not too aware of.
I agree too. Where there might be. Listen, no, there might be one.
No.
No, there might be one. There might be one. There might be
Where they
weird.
suck each other.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, right? Well, not only that,
I don't
but
think phrase
come
that
on,
way,
man.
where they hold on to kids long enough to make them uncomfortable. Right? I'm gonna hold on to the. You know what my favorite game is? I love to grab kids, and until they start to shake and want to get away from me. That's my favorite game. Like,
And then
right, and then.
I
once
see
I'm
if they
done
want to
doing
suck
that,
my tongue.
Right, I want to see if they want to suck my tongue. Oh, inappropriate? Oh, I had no idea.
Wait,
we
what?
do this every Christmas.
I'm just funning.
I'm just funning around.
It's like a rite of passage. Like if they pull away, you're an adult. If
Right,
they do it,
yeah.
you're still a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's things that get a little fishy there. Sorry, Dolly.
Until
My
what
bad.
end? What do you mean?
Right.
Suck my
who's
tongue.
gonna laugh
What,
at
what the
that?
fuck does that even
If
mean?
he even thought it was a joke, who's laughing at it?
Well, and
For how
is it-
long?
How is it for how long? It's like an all day thing, or like
Like five,
you know?
Are you attached like a
5
leech to
seconds?
me?
Yeah.
5 minutes?
I-
What is the purpose?
Do I put in a breath mint? How does this? What am I doing here? How does this work?
like
Yeah.
just
breath-
wanted a
breath
hug.
spray?
Yeah, a little Banaka, right? Old school. Little spritz.
Keep it old school.
Yeah, it's important.
Dalai
Yeah, no.
Lama. Bonehead.
Bonehead of the week.
Bonehead. So bizarre, dude.
love it.
I'll start doing like in the little corner like an image just like bonehead,
Yeah.
just a picture of Dalai Lama.
Yeah, if we could moving forward,
Moving forward.
and if we could just slap like a
Dalai Lama.
it says bonehead
stamp on
right
it.
on their head.
Well, anybody who you should put that on there. You should put that on anybody who's like he's just kidding around. That's the bonehead look right there. The person who's like,
There's like
there could be multiple
associate
boneheads.
bonehead.
How about
Yeah.
this? How about this? Another example. Another simple example.
Mm.
I'm at work.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm so excited to come to work today
Mm.
that I'm gonna grab my female coworker and ask her if she wants to suck my tongue hello and see how long I have a job.
Just joshing her.
Wait, I
Just-
shouldn't do that?
Right? Yeah, exactly. What?
It's like those weird like prank videos
Or-
where they do these extreme things and you're like,
Yeah.
it's just a joke.
It's
Like
just I'm just playing around. I'm kidding.
Dude, if it was like
Yeah.
if the Jackass guys came out, and then I'd be like, oh, okay,
Right.
like
Right, hey, guys,
it's a
took
terrible
your-
joke,
right,
but at least
terrible
it was a
joke.
goddamn
thank-
joke.
Right, please,
he
please.
wasn't
Right,
actually gonna
yeah.
suck his tongue ever.
Right.
You know, like
Ugh,
I
we would have
recently-
stopped it.
I recently watched the most latest, or the most latest. Who says that?
The most
the most
bestest.
recent, the bestest, the most recent Jackass, and I was pleasantly surprised that I laughed pretty hard. I forgot how good some of
Dude,
those things are, man.
Jackass. I was
League of Their Own.
resistant. I was reluctant at first
Mhm.
because it got so popular without me paying attention to it. And
Right.
you know how sometimes that happens in like the movie Titanic. Everybody, I was like, nope, never watching it.
Really?
Jurassic Park, like certain things passed me, and I was like, it's been too long. I'm just
Yeah.
not doing it. And it kind of was like that for Jackass. And I just was like, all right, let me just see one day. And it's the shit.
It's hysterical.
It's great.
There's
you
a
ever watched
scene.
Yeah,
yeah, we watched it that one time together.
I
think
the
that was
movie,
the new
but like
one.
the show and the
No, I
whole.
never
okay,
saw the
that's
show.
what I'm talking about. Yeah,
They released a
dude.
released a bear on someone. It's insane.
Was it like a?
I've never.
It had
seen
to have been
anything
like a
it.
trained like zoo bear or something, not like a wild
Probably.
bear.
All right, let me ask you a question. About, let me ask you a question about a trained zoo bear.
Mm.
Where, because that's a real specific thing that you just described. No. Listen, man, it's a trained zoo bear. Like
Could've
that
been a
wouldn't
circus
make me
bear.
feel any better. Like if the bear came in the room and you're like, Danny, relax. It's a trained zoo bear. I have
Oh,
this-
cool. Then.
I've got this completely under
Can I suck
control.
its tongue?
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfectly safe. And
Cool.
it's not weird.
I mean that's fair. I mean even then you hear about those like circus lions like attacking their like tamer and everything.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they're
shit, yeah. Those
animals.
videos are the best,
It's a
by the way.
bear.
I love nothing more than when the animal goes animal on somebody,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
That's you're making this animal do shit
Right.
it shouldn't be doing.
That's why it was so
and it
scary.
goes nuts on you.
Like,
That's my favorite.
It's a guilty
terrifying
pleasure,
to
but those
watch.
like bullfighting videos when the bull like knocks the guy in his ass.
No, the running of the bulls is great.
oh,
yeah.
the bull. I like bulls.
When you,
Yeah.
When they fuck those people up.
The
Oh,
bullfighters
God.
when they
Amazing.
get bodied. Yeah.
to me though, because I'm sick, to me, it's not it's not the pain of them getting hurt. It's if and these are special shots, right? It's if you're close enough to see the fear in their face when they're running. They're running from that thing. They're like, oh my god!
But they go there
those people
fully
are
knowing
running.
that.
And like,
They're
or if they're
running.
like, you know how people like nervous laugh, like they're nervous smiling, trying to get away from the bull, but then it becomes real, and you see like the
When
horn,
that
and it's
bull's
like,
on your ass.
and they're just
Yeah.
launched, gone. See ya.
That's
Oh
the
my
funniest
God,
thing to me.
that
Though,
is
like
good.
seeing them get launched, like I hope they're not hurt. I hope they're fine. But
Oh,
just
no, I hope
Oh, no,
they're
I
hurt.
want them
No,
to
I
be
want them to be
hurt.
hurt. Yeah, no, I
I
hope
want them
they're
to be
hurt.
hurt.
just
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
them ragdoll in the
I hope
air
they're hurt.
is hilarious.
Oh,
I
it's
hope
so
they're
good.
hurt. I
He's
want
Christian.
them.
You're a Christian man, and
You
then
should.
you don't
no,
want people
this
to be
is-
hurt.
I don't
you know
want
what
people
you
to be
signed up
hurt.
For. I don't feel bad.
For
at
the
all.
most part,
want them
I
to.
don't either.
I don't feel
But
bad
for
about it.
this shit, oh
I don't
yeah.
want
Put
anyone.
his-
I don't think they should
Scalp 'em.
die. Right. I'm not a madman. I'm not a sick person. I don't think they should die. Maybe, most of them I think also should probably walk again after the accident. But
Most of
I
them,
think,
not all.
I think severely
I don't
injured
care either
makes
way.
me laugh. You're putting yourself in that position. Now,
Right.
if I'm walking down the street and a bull fucks me up,
That shouldn't happen.
all right,
I
fuck
wouldn't
that
want
bull.
you to get hurt.
I didn't ask for that. You know
Fuck
what I'm
that
saying?
bull.
Bull's a bitch. She fucks me up
Right.
for no reason. But if I go, hey, I want to go to the bull's house
Mhm.
and knock some shit around.
Or I want to start sticking
And
swords.
I'm
in
gonna
this
poke
thing.
him in the eye. I'm gonna
Yeah.
poke the bull in the eye, and then it destroys me. Then
Oh,
that's on
fucking
me.
perfect.
Right.
I've seen where they do like poker. Have you seen that? Where they're sitting at a table
Oh,
Yeah.
and they just wait
That's
and let the bull
insane.
decide
That's
when it's gonna.
insane, dude.
And I saw an old lady taking part of it in it one time, like
Mhm.
like she would gray hair, I don't know, 70s or something. And I
God
was like,
bless her.
get her ass,
Get her.
get that
I want
ass,
that
bull.
one. I want that one. Take her down.
Throw her in the air. I don't
Wanna
give
play
a
games?
shit.
Play stupid
So-
games. Win stupid prizes.
so that's like a true thing. Like I saw that on Yellowstone, and I thought that was like just like a thing they made up for the show.
Oh no,
What a
that's
show.
a thing. Oh,
What a show,
Yellowstone.
What a
Come
show.
on.
Oof.
One of the great shows that
Yellowstone.
exists out there. By the way, let me say my favorite Jackass prank. It's not a long one at
Ooh.
all. It's the one where they take the car to like a gas station,
Oh, yeah.
and then the trunk pops up, and the dude's tied up, and he's naked, and he goes running for his life. And the people are looking like,
What is happening? Classic.
fucking awesome.
Classic.
hmm
Great show. Great show.
Great show, great movies. I did see the new one. They still got it. It's a shame what
They
happened
do.
to Bam Margera. It just
That's really sad.
he
That
lost
guy,
Ryan Dunn, his best friend, and then he kind of like
Tragic.
went into
Tragic.
drunken, drugged,
It's-
spiral.
It's sad.
sad.
And fortunately, Steve-O, a guy like Steve-O, made it out
Made it out.
and
You
turned
ever
his
se-
life around. I hope Bam can do the same
Have you
because
ever
I was a
seen the
kid
special?
watching that shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's sad.
The Steve-O special. Have you seen that?
Stand up.
No. Well, he does have a stand-up special, but
Mm.
he also has. So when he was in his darkest place, he was recording everything.
Mm.
Dude, this was dark.
You know, he used to talk
Dark.
about like demons coming in the room and like
Yes.
seeing entities and
Damn.
like weird shit.
It was
dude.
like
he was
that?
taking.
He was hitting whippets. He was hitting
He was
whippets like
fucking
crazy.
Was
there.
he was taking stuff?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he talks
everything. What?
He dabbled.
He dabbled just a little.
Again, younger. Mr. Producer for
Experimenting.
everyone. He's
I'm a-
younger.
That's true, there's an
yeah,
age
he's
gap.
younger. Right?
I'm a
yeah.
young Catholic.
He's
I
like
haven't been exposed
Elvis
to too
played the
much.
guitar.
But what's interesting
What?
is Steve-O
Hey, I
doesn't
watched
say
the Elvis movie. I know his whole life story.
There it is. See?
The
He's
Elvis
back.
movie.
We need a Steve-O one. We need a Steve-O movie.
But what's interesting is Steve-O isn't saying like I was on drugs and I was seeing shit. He's like, no, these were demons. These were
Yeah.
like malicious entities that were like
Yep.
fucking swirling around me and meant me harm. Like,
Dude, it was dark.
he's open about it.
Super dark when you watch it. It's worth a watch.
Send me that link.
Oof, it's
Yes.
creepy.
I'll watch it.
I gotta
I'll
see if
watch
I can
that
find
too.
it. I don't even. It's pretty old.
Mm.
But I remember watching it and being like, "Whoa!" Like feeling the presence of evil. Like watching it and being like it was like watching a horror movie,
Mm.
right?
And it's just him
And it's-
describing
and
his
it's-
experiences.
Dude, he
and-
was recording it in his house. So he said something to the tune of, "My biggest fear was that the camera would turn off and that no one. I didn't mind having the camera there, but I had to always have a camera on me because my fear was that people would just stop watching.
Mm.
That
And
no
then
one."
that means he didn't
That
matter
no one
anymore.
exactly, yeah,
That's-
and it's wild. If you watch it, they do an intervention, and it's
That's
it's
real.
it's scary. It's dark. People, I mean, you know, talk about a don't do drugs campaign. Holy shit! I mean, it was creepy and dark, and you could see the darkness in him. You know, it was.
I want to look into the
it was
Ryan
interesting.
Dunn accident and his
That's
death.
yeah,
'Cause
that's sad too.
I wonder.
I mean,
wonder.
quick message.
Well, you know
phone
what?
a friend. Phone a friend. Make sure they're good.
Oh yeah, always.
Sure.
That's important.
Check on
Especially
them.
these
Yeah.
days, man. You know.
There's signs, man. There's signs of
signs.
somebody struggling.
Look for signs. Help
Yeah,
them
Yeah,
out.
and don't be
Help 'em
afraid
out.
to say hello and talk to people and share that.
Just
it's
remember,
important. Reach out.
Yeah.
a friend would rather hear you out than go to your funeral.
Yep,
Boom.
absolutely.
Well said, Mr. Producer,
Mr.
aka
Producer.
APK,
APK,
aka the glue,
the glue.
the glue who holds this
Mr.
whole
Producer's
podcast
the glue.
together.
Ooh,
Yes, he
I need to
does.
start having like a bingo of
Make
like
sure.
a bingo cards of like every like nickname, and just
Yeah.
whoever gets it first gets like a like if we have merch at some point, whoever like
Have
comments
some
it first,
merch
we
at some
send the
point.
merch.
The glue.
Whoever gets bingo.
The glue.
We can have people start coming up with nicknames. Yeah, and the best one.
There you go.
You
Best
get
one.
Whoever gets
something very, very inexpensive.
whoever
Something very, very inexpensive.
$5 at Portillo.
There you go. Enjoy.
Whoever gets top comment, I'll send you a selfie of me doing
There
a
it
thumbs
is.
up. You're the
Yeah.
only one that has it too.
Ooh, it's like an NFT.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah,
an
yeah,
You're
it's
the
like
only
an
one that
NFT.
has that selfie of
Yeah.
me doing
Worth
a thumbs up.
trillions.
Boom.
I like that idea. I think that's pretty strong.
So yeah, Dalai Lama, bonehead,
Bonehead.
bonehead
Bizarre.
of the week.
Bizarre.
You should know better, my
You
man.
should- yeah, come
You're
on.
100 years old.
Don't tell kids to suck your tongue.
It's pretty. You wouldn't think
Little
you'd ever have
disclaimer.
to say that, but now apparently you have to say that.
It's
Or
weird
that-
that we had to say it once.
Why does anyone have to say and why
weird
and
what
how
you're
is it
talking about.
and how is it
This
dismissed?
happened.
How is it dismissed? That's the part that
Because he was just being a goof.
Because it's Chinese propaganda,
It's like, dude,
according
come
to
on,
people.
man. What are you
Just
doing? You're
being a
crazy.
goof.
It's like, what is going on? Oh, the
Mm.
Chinese propaganda.
Dude, the funniest thing coming out of that is just how much the Chinese president hates being called Winnie the Pooh.
I don't even know
You
I
guys
anything
have
about
know
that.
So
first of all,
people-
it's phenomenal. I see
people
it
say-
immediately. I can see
people
it
say
immediately.
he-
It's
he-
unbelievable.
People say he looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, he
and
does.
I think
Can
he's
you
like,
pull him up?
I think he's
can't
like banned
picture
it
him.
in his country. Like he's banned Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I believe it. That's amazing.
He hates it so much.
It's so good though. It's perfect. He does look like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is one of my favorites.
Dude, I grew up watching
Big
that
Winnie
shit.
the Pooh fan.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Well, you know, he was into the honey.
Okay. Okay.
Nice little
It's a big
stash.
GI Joe guy myself.
Oh, G.I. Joe's the best.
Hell yeah.
So this is Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Dude, Winnie the Pooh. That is unbelievable, man. As soon as they said it, I'm like,
Holy
wow,
hell.
that's great.
That's him.
Wow.
But yeah, he hates it. You will go to jail for saying he
Oh,
looks like Winnie
he'd
the Pooh.
murder you
Oh
in a
yeah.
heartbeat. That's what part
Send
of
you to one of his camps.
what's
Jesus.
crazy. No, he'd probably kill you.
You'd be making
Oh,
Nikes.
hey, have you ever looked up? I don't know if we talked about it, Mr. Producer. I'm pretty sure you and I have
Hmm.
the Uyghur camps
Oh my
in
god.
China.
That's horrendous.
Scary stuff. Do you know? Have we talked about that? You and I, Rob?
I don't think so.
Oh man, we'll have to.
mean-
I mean, we don't have to get into it now. It's a thing.
Yeah, I know it's a thing.
It's definitely one that's pretty fucking nuts, man. It's pretty wild.
It needs to be talked about more too.
I mean,
Well, that's what we're here for.
there's and I could say this. There's a show on the BBC that years ago, the Chinese allowed them to come in, and they went to a Uyghur camp where it's a brainwashing camp. I couldn't even believe that they let them in. I was blown away.
Is it
that they
like-
even let them in?
Is it like the old American, like Native American, like reform things where they try to brainwash him to be
Yes.
more American?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's insane.
Crazy.
I was watching it, and I'm like, how are people not freaking out about this? It's completely brainwashing. They're showing them brainwashed. They show them how they're being brainwashed. Then they interviewed them. It was nuts. It was on the BBC. The BBC did it. So you could probably find if you do BBC like Uyghur. Good luck spelling Uyghur. I still don't know how to spell it. I've looked it up a ton of times. It's interesting spelling. I don't know how to do it, but that's something that's real serious. People should take that a lot more seriously and look into it. And just understand that you want to talk about slavery. I mean, there's still slaves all over the world that are
human
people are
rights
doing right now,
atrocities,
all over
human
the
rights
world, yeah.
atrocities happening as we speak
Everywhere.
while we're focusing on Bud Light. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
this
everything.
is-
A lot of the stuff that we have is a result of the show. I
Yes.
mean, the iPhones we have, like,
yes.
like-
You got to. That's the thing about it. It's like that. That's why it's important. It's important because we're funding it.
Mm.
And not even the government. You and I fund it when we buy certain things, and we. just true. It is. I'm
It's not
not
our
telling
intention,
anybody.
though. It's not our intention.
Right. It's not intentional, but I think if more people really knew, right, how some of the stuff worked, they'd be repulsed by it.
Yeah.
You know, and they would you know, look at Bud Light, right? They're pulling away, right? People pulled away from it.
Mm-hmm.
If more people did stuff like that where they pulled away, you can understand how powerful people can be. You know, you don't have to go out in the street and light shit on fire.
That's
burn somebody's house down and throw.
No,
you know,
dude,
you can do
that's
it just like that. You know,
literally why they have us fighting with each other at all times. Because if we banded together, we would show what real power is.
And
but we're not going to do that when we have all these issues separating us.
The powerful thing is your money, your wallet. Because, like, you see a lot of people, they go out and they protest and stuff. And, you know, go ahead. Go out, protest. Like, show your disdain for things. Peacefully. But at the same time, nothing has more of an impact than you not buying something.
Right.
Because even then, if you really look at it, a lot of these politicians, they're on both sides. And the reason they're on both sides is because, like, when it comes to donations for their campaigns,
they're getting paid by Bud Light too.
They're getting it from both sides.
Bud Light's paying them too.
No matter the party,
your wallet,
no matter the political
your
party,
wallet has the power.
Bud
Don't donate to these crazy politicians. Don't donate to these brands.
Well, yeah, but if you don't know, right? If you're ignorant to it, how you know. And most people
that's
just
the
want
thing. Yeah, most people they have no idea.
They have no idea because they're living their lives. They got shit to do. They got kids. They got this. They got that. So like,
that's on
there's
purpose.
sports, there's movies,
there's
there's
TV,
there's everything to keep you distracted. And when you're done watching that, get your ass to work because you got to make a living for your family. You have no time to look into a lot of the shit that we're talking about.
And we just happen to be nerds.
We just happen to. Well, here's the thing.
I just like this stuff. It's interesting to me.
Let's say, for lack of a better term, when you wake up, you then all of a sudden get drawn to these issues, and now you start seeing the world through a different, lens, and you're seeing what's really going on.
Well, we're also living some crazy times right now. I mean, the stuff that's going on. I mean, just what we covered today, insanity. You know what I mean?
That was just the last few days,
right? Yeah,
it's like every day something insane has happened. When you think like, what?
You can't even keep up with it.
No, you can't.
Right. That's the thing. It's hard to keep up with. Exactly. It's hard to keep up with. And there's stuff that I think, like for instance, stuff that we touch on where we're continuing to see things, right? We're continuing to see what we talked about today, some sexualization of children. We're continuing to see those things.
Yeah.
And we're talking about patterns. We're seeing it over and over again. Like let's say before you might see something. And some people attribute this to us growing as a community or as a country and all this other stuff. But like, there's certain things that you would never seen before. Now you're seeing more of now. But when you start seeing things repeatedly, it's real because some people say, no, this has nothing to do with that. It's not about sexualizing children. It's about inclusion. And it's not. No. So I'm not going to say it's about inclusion because it's not. I see what's going on.
That's the
I can
smoke
see it in
screen.
front of me. Right. Well, Jordan Peterson put a thing on Twitter. And I reposted it the other day. It's a wolf with makeup on, right? It's a wolf with makeup on, licking its lips, and at the bottom left-hand corner it says, "I just want to read some books to your hens."
That's
right?
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a great way to put it because I think a lot of people, and because people are, I think, genuinely nice and don't want to be angry and hate.
I agree.
Go to bat and defend what they're seeing on the outside. They're not seeing what's behind that.
That's why they're being shown it.
Exactly.
Because they know how normal people will respond.
Right.
Master manipulators.
And is there anything more is there anything more distracting than a drag queen? I don't think so. I don't Is there anything more distracting?
They wear.
Is there anything more distracting than a 6'4" dude?
Yeah.
A 6'4" dude in heels with a huge wig and a full face of makeup.
I've seen some with like horns, like
crushing it, singing.
Notice.
Who can sing and dance? What kind of triple threat are we talking about here? Yeah, exactly. What kind of triple threat are we talking about? Of course, it distracted me.
No, one of the craziest things I've seen is I forgot what it was. I forgot the name of it. It was I just remember it was a huge thing like 2-3 years ago where it was like a Netflix movie about little girls learning how to twerk.
Oh, you're talking about fucking stupid ass.
I forgot what it was.
Cuties. That shit.
I was thinking of a fruit. I was like,
dude. Again, patterns, right? Going back to it, patterns. And that was a little while back, right?
Yeah.
they've been introducing this over and over again. And I keep telling people, I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. For me, anyway, I don't care. I was telling him earlier,
Do your thing.
yeah, I'm putting people on notice. Like, this
needs
is
to stop.
it has to stop. You're sexualizing children. These are babies.
Yeah.
They want to go out. They want to
They
fuck
have
around with G.I. Joe.
innocence.
They have innocence. Innocence is so important, especially in this day and age. You need that. It's what
For
makes
as
you.
long as possible.
Yes, that's what it's like. It keeps your soul clean before it gets filthy by the world. You know, you have this innocence, and now, no, I want to come in and take that from you.
Okay,
you know,
so
we have to protect children.
let me tell you,
it's our job as human beings.
The goal of sexualizing children, right? Because it is just clearly known they're not of sound mind to be
Easily
engaged
manipulated.
in sexual activity. Yes. They're children, right? So they do it in subtle ways. Everything you're describing, right? But
Grooming.
Another way,
Grooming.
Another way that they do it is in movies or TV show. Notice this: how the kid knows it all, and the parents are just bumbling idiots, and the kid's like, "Oh, I gotta help my dad again, or I gotta figure this out."
Young Sheldon.
Yeah, I'm sure that I don't watch it, but I'm sure that that's part of it. So now it makes the kid look like he's smart, or she, and that she can handle adult situations. This is fucking by design. It is for the grooming and sexualization of children. Right. And something that doesn't even have to be sexualized, but they're just showing how smart and adaptive they are to adult situations.
They're encouraging secrets. They're encouraging secrets.
Oh, yeah.
They're encouraging you to say, shh, quiet.
Don't tell your
Only
dad.
I can help you. Yeah. Oh, man, what is a predator love? What better?
Keeping shit a secret.
Man, secrets. Those are my favorite. Don't tell anyone what I'm doing to you. When you have that, it's a slippery slope. And people don't like to hear it. I'm sure there's people cringing right now who hear that cringe. Yes, it is cringeworthy. It's supposed to be. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's terrible.
It's not
right?
something I want to talk about, but it needs to be addressed.
But people are they're trying to introduce a culture where that is normal. They're normalizing it. They're making it regular. It's not a big deal, guys. It's everybody's doing it.
You know what else too? So there is pushback coming. Well, there are people that are just like, nah, fuck this, right? With the kids and all that. But you know what? Then they get labeled as QAnon.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's
They'll be like, they're QAnon. They think all this and other stuff, and then they lump in the hurting of children to make it look like it's just these crazy people thinking about this.
People who hate gays. People who
it lumps it all in together, dude.
You can call it a conspiracy theory. Call it whatever you want. But if there's a chance that kids are getting hurt, we gotta look into it.
Thank you.
Look into this shit.
If there's the smallest chance they're getting hurt, look into it
because it would be worth it.
Yes.
Well, and
to save one kid, Jesus Christ.
Right. And who would ever believe that I'm going into the strip club for book readings? Just out of curiosity. Everyone's gonna go, Danny, you're not going to the book club No. Love to read books. Listen,
for book reading and I eat the food.
I have been reading books to Strawberry for the last 3 weeks.
Your
and
book
she
club?
loves,
Strawberries
Diamond,
strawberry,
Sapphire, Diamond,
cinnamon swirl.
They're all there.
They're
all there, and I read them books, and they sit on my lap when I read them. The books.
Nothing sexual.
And there's zero. I'm there because I think it's just the right place to be. For me. That's just I'm old fashioned like that. It's my thing.
It's your safe zone.
I like to give back. I want to read. I think it's important.
Makes sense to me.
Very, very important.
What else we got? Want to move along a little bit?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
So here's a little something. A fella by the name of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh God.
Has you're done with him.
He's out.
He has just issued an apology recently in the past, whatever.
Past
like we said, the news cycles move fucking
like a
fast,
week or two.
Dude.
We can't keep up.
Dude, we can't keep up, man.
We're trying.
Give us a break, all right? You know it moves fast.
Right.
Recently, he apologized for some comments he made during the pandemic, let's say. And what he said was he was mad that
Having an Arnold moment.
and I don't want to get into the pandemic and what that was or wasn't or anything like that. Not yet.
Right.
This specifically, I'm just saying he used some language here that people should have been up in arms about. And he wasn't the first one, though.
No, I think plenty of people said it.
This other story has gone. So before we get to Arnie, let me just say the
Arnie, huh?
Arnie baby.
Arnie. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
He's a good guy.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
The Evangeline Lilly. She was in Lost, and she's in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She plays the Wasp, Evangeline Lilly. When the pandemic was going down, she had mentioned, like, okay, this is a thing, but I don't want to lose sight of what my life is, and I don't want my child to suffer. So she's like, well, I'm going to be cautious, and I'm going to take him to outdoors, and live my life. And then Sophie Turner, who you might remember, who played Sansa Stark, who is not an American, but also, to be fair, Evangeline Lilly, I believe, is not an American either. She's Canadian. I think she lives here.
It's Canadians. Very tricky.
But
Very tricky, the Canadians.
But she was talking about going outside and doing things safely, but not letting this inhibit her life.
Breathing clean air.
More importantly, her child's life. So then Sansa Stark comes out and says directly to her, aimed at her, this is a quote, "Stay inside. Don't be fucking stupid. Even if you count your quote-unquote freedom over. I don't know. What is it? Your health? I don't give a fuck about your freedom. You could be infecting other people, other vulnerable people around you by doing this. So stay inside, guys. It's not cool, and it's not big, and it's not clever, and that's the T. I don't give a fuck about your freedom.
That's the T.
Take that, stupid."
Finger snap.
So, to me,
she's smart.
When someone starts talking about not giving a fuck about freedom, it raises an alarm bell for me.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of countries out there that would give their lives to have the freedoms we're supposed to have.
Right.
I mean,
freedom is a big deal.
Right.
I mean, we mentioned China. Imagine what they would do for our freedom.
Yeah. Well, there's videos.
And then
there's videos of COVID people in China where they're sealing doors, people jumping out of windows.
Oh yeah, it's sad.
I mean, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. So when you say, it's like you said, so fuck your freedom. Nah, bitch, fuck you.
And they're going.
How about
you.
that? How about that?
How about
fuck
that?
you, bitch.
Fuck
How about
you.
that? Yeah, exactly.
To have
Yeah,
some actor come out.
I don't care who it is.
Shame
Anyone.
you for
Spoiled
anything
actor.
or whatever
Anyone.
the fuck you're trying to do.
Right.
So,
Do you know how long I've been stuck in this mansion? Do you know how many days I've had to swim in the same pool?
I only have 10 acres
And you
of land.
filthy animals can't even stay inside for a day.
My
You're
chef,
disgusting.
my personal chef,
My
can't
personal
even
chef?
see his
no,
family.
No, hey, hold on. I've had 3 chefs die. Do you know? Do you know what that's like?
Not from the pandemic.
Not
I
from the
murdered
pandemic.
them.
Yeah, I killed them. But either way, you don't know what it's like, the struggle.
It's just so. When I saw that quote, I was like, "Damn, let's have some people get on her." Nope, not a peep.
Oh, of course,
not a peep.
It's not politically correct.
And,
Well,
and
you
apparently,
couldn't.
it's cool for anyone
Well-
to just be like, "Screw freedom."
But you have to remember something. It was screw freedom because if you said anything counter to that, and I don't know exactly when that was from. I assume
like
it was at
2020
the peak of,
in the shit.
I assume it was the peak, right?
Yep.
But don't forget, you weren't allowed to do that on social media. Don't forget that. People forget. You were not allowed to say anything other than what you were told to say by the CDC or whomever,
By the
World
government.
Health
It didn't
Organization,
matter
the government.
If you were
weren't
a
allowed-
doctor
exactly,
who knew some shit,
or an idiot like me.
or an idiot like him. But this gets into the Twitter files,
Which
how
is
they were
interesting.
censoring, the government was actively censoring freedom of speech.
But that's a fact. It's a real thing.
It's a real fact
yeah,
that
it's
has
a real
happened.
thing.
And they're doing everything they can to ignore it. So anyway, it gets back
They
to
have to.
this fucking idiot, Arnold Schwarzenegger, not from America, who was again mad along the same lines. You remember he gave a stupid little speech, and he was like, "Screw your freedom."
And mind you, it's our freedoms that let him come here. Be successful. He lived out the American dream.
Arnold's not from here. Like that?
No,
He's
From
from
I thought that was Brooklyn accent.
Brooklyn accent. Yeah, exactly. I thought for sure.
Philadelphia.
Man,
No.
interesting.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just,
So he was like, "Screw your freedom."
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was out.
He was saying, and so I'm like, "Damn, again," and no backlash. But now he's decided to come out, apologize, and I think I speak on our behalf, and I'm going to say, "Hey, Arnold, we do not accept your apology.
Fuck your apology.
Go fuck yourself.
The fucking clown.
Screw your freedom."
And I defended this guy like to the end. Arnold's one of my heroes. He's like one of the best. You know what I mean? He had
Bro,
a kid.
his
Listen,
movies.
He
Predator.
had a kid out of wedlock. You know what I mean?
Commando.
He had
He
that.
was
You know that story, right? With this.
raw deal.
He did a raw deal on
banged
the
his
babysitter.
nanny.
Yeah, on the nanny. Yeah, the babysitter or whatever. She lived there. This guy's ruthless.
Screw freedom.
Yeah, he's like, screw your freedom and your maid. Screw them both. It's craziness. Like, and I was like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna give you a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, cool.
You wanted to believe
You know what
in
I
him.
mean? Now, yeah, COVID. Fuck your freedom. Sorry, you're out, Arnold. You're gone.
You don't say
You're
that.
gone. Well, what? You don't say
You
that.
don't say
Hey,
that.
You don't say that. You don't say that.
It's one of the
What
things
made
you
him
just don't
apologize
say.
though after this long?
I don't know.
He's
It's
got
been a
movie
while,
coming out? He's
yeah.
got a
Like,
movie
what
coming
happened?
out.
He
I
didn't have
guarantee he's
to.
got a movie coming out.
Sansa Stark
Actually,
didn't
he
apologize.
does. He has a comedy movie coming out. He has an action comedy movie coming out.
I hope it fucking bombs.
I just remember seeing a trailer about it. In the
I hope it goes right in the toilet.
The only thing I remember from the trailer is he gets hit in the nuts. That's about the only thing I remember from that trailer.
I hope that happened for real.
Yeah, that's the attraction.
No
people
stunt
wanna
double.
see.
I don't want people getting hurt. I don't want any of that.
A little ball flick never hurt anyone.
No.
But if it accidentally happened, I wouldn't lose
Who's
sleep.
gonna
over
lose sleep over that? Right? Yeah, Arnold. Just again, he's just kidding around. Just kidding around. Big deal.
he didn't
Freedom.
mean it.
Who
He
cares?
didn't
Freedom's not a
mean
big
it.
These
deal.
are like that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard anyone say. Like, screw freedom.
Yeah.
People have died for freedom. A lot of fucking
Are
people.
dying right now as we speak.
And are dying currently.
For freedom
It's happened
here.
throughout history.
Absolutely.
To be so flippant.
Yeah.
To be like,
Whatever.
what?
Who
Ah,
cares?
shut up with your
Shut up with your
freedom.
freedom.
Ugh.
Ugh. Gross.
God.
You
That gets
wouldn't-
into like,
Well, do you realize that you wouldn't be
Come
able
at
to
me,
say
bro.
what you wouldn't be able to say the stupid shit that you're saying right now if it wasn't for freedom? You dummy.
do you not
You
understand
do not
that?
understand how that works.
You wouldn't
You
be
have
in
the
a,
freedom to say screw your freedom,
exactly.
you idiot.
you
It's
wouldn't
too
be
deep.
in a position where people even listen to you, because if we didn't have freedoms for like migrants, you'd be a nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I don't know. So I guess two more boneheads.
Special week, opening week, double
Opening
bonehead.
week, we're gonna have.
Double bonehead.
I'm putting Sansa Stark in there.
Oh,
too.
triple bonehead.
Triple bonehead.
Okay.
Can we call him a boner? I like that as an insult. When
Boner?
someone calls like, hey, you know so and so, yeah, guy's a real fucking boner.
It's like
What does that
using
mean, though?
outdated
I
words.
What
don't
does that
know.
mean?
I don't know, but I like. It seems mean, right?
Yeah.
It-
Like if
I think
I
it's
wouldn't
how
like
you
to be
deliver
called
it.
that.
What does boner
Right.
mean?
This guy's a real fucking boner.
That
It's
hurt.
just it
That would
hurts.
hurt.
Yeah,
Human
I feel
erection.
like it's a little
A
stabbing.
male erection.
Yeah, this guy's a real boner.
I'd be confused and hurt at the same time.
Yeah, you're right. Is it good or bad? Is it a big boner? Am I a little boner? But then if you're the bigger boner, you are the worse.
Am I a troll?
Oh, that's true.
You know, it's not. And this time, it's not very good. I like it. I just think it's an interesting way to describe someone.
He's a boner.
He's a boner, not just not like a dick.
Boner.
Boner.
Hey, fun fact: the word dork, it means whale's penis.
Mm-hmm.
Just a random fact you just threw at me.
Facts.
Yeah, since we're talking about that,
Facts.
The Far Side, the comic, one of the greatest comic strips of all time.
Comic strip.
The Far Side.
I'm unfamiliar.
What?
Sorry.
I don't know that one either.
The Far Side. It's just right up there with Calvin and Hobbes. You know Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah.
The Far
No.
Side. It would
No,
be one
I don't
little.
know Calvin and Hobbes either. No clue.
I don't know either. I saw you say you knew it, and I was
just
like,
said it with confidence.
I know.
am lying.
Okay,
But
I
you're
do not know
younger.
what that is.
You have no excuse.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes. Is that
Wow.
like Cagney and Lacey? No?
Sorta.
Sorta.
One's a little boy and one's
Pete
an
and-
imaginary tiger.
Pete and Pete.
Oh wait,
These are comic strips,
I've
guys.
seen it. I
What
don't know what it's
the
called,
fuck?
but I've seen. Is the boy blonde?
Yes.
Okay, then
yeah.
I've seen it.
He's the one that pisses on the everything.
Oh, now
No,
you're
no, no.
Mr. Fucking Cool Guy, huh? Oh yeah, I know what it is. Oh,
I've
no,
never read it.
He
I've
looked it up
seen
on the
it.
computer.
We're still staring at a
picture.
picture of Winnie the Pooh, Ji Jinping over here.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you're doing over there. I don't trust you.
I don't even remember why the hell I brought up the Far Side. But, yeah, I completely lost it. Anyways, triple bonehead week. Boner week.
Boner of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's actually that would be like an awesome segment. Boner of the week. Everyone's like, yeah, I think they're about to see like a hot chick, and it's just some asshole. You know?
I didn't think that's where you were taking it.
Boner of the week.
They'll be on to us
Yeah, they're like
immediately.
Thought I was gonna be a hot girl.
After the first one.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's a little side story. Just want to bring up real quick. Vanessa Hudgens is doing some new documentary coming up, and what she's talking about is promoting witchcraft and her love of it.
Oh yeah,
for the public. And she kind of blends it in where she's like, occult, like I'm into the occult, but also witchcraft. And
it's good for everyone.
Look, the occult it means hidden knowledge or hidden whatever, right? That's occult. It can be bad or good.
Yeah,
it's just hidden. Witchcraft,
not good.
Not so much good. And she said,
what if it's
quote?
Fun?
She wants people to accept witchcraft and open up their heart, mind, and soul.
It's good. Witchcraft for the kids.
In witchcraft.
If someone told me directly, open your heart, mind, and soul to witchcraft,
it sounds weird.
It doesn't.
It sounds not good.
I don't feel like they have my best interest in mind.
No, it sounds like.
I mean, it could be a club. Well, they have Satanist clubs. They have Satanist after school programs.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Wait,
that's a thing.
You're for real?
I'm stone cold.
Oh
serious.
shit! You didn't
Absolutely.
know about that?
No, I did not.
It's
We
wild.
got
It's wild.
Satanist after school programs
This
in
is-
Illinois.
And again,
correct?
stuff
No
that
way.
I don't know. I
think it's Illinois,
I can't confirm
dude.
the state, but
It's
I
not
know they have
Chicago,
it.
but I think it's Illinois.
And let me
Yes.
guess, like
So you look it up.
you-
Satanist after school club.
Let me guess.
Please.
You can't even have like a Christian club at a public school.
Right. Well, that's kind of the argument, right? That's part of where the issue lies,
Nope.
right? But it goes back to, and sorry to interject here, but it goes back to what we've been talking about, right? The whole Satan thing, right? This is a big theme. A lot of people are talking about it. You know, everyone's talking about the Satan
I feel
stuff
like
that
more and more people
are
are
seeing it.
noticing. I did a
Yeah,
companion
a
video
pattern.
that should be out before this episode, and I'm
Yes.
talking about 666 code. We're in the year 2023. 23, 2 divided by 3 is 666. We're gonna this is a thing that's being pushed. Is this it?
Elementary school children, not even high school. Elementary school.
Oh yeah,
children.
elementary school children.
Can we say where we're
After
Who
school
started this
Satan
club? You're
club.
telling me some like 10-year-old was like.
But
Again,
wait,
where is
how
this-
did this start?
where is it?
Well,
Does
again,
it say?
where-
It's
are
in
these-
Moline, Illinois.
I told you,
Where-
fucking
there you
Illinois.
go. Where are these representatives? Where are these little kids just demanding more? You know what I'm saying? Where are these 11-year-olds who are like, hey man, listen.
I'm
have
into
you heard
Satan.
about hey, can I get a minute of your time? How do you feel about the devil? You know, and
But they do it in double speak.
Where are your
they're just like,
parents?
it's not really about Satan. It's about freedom or whatever, and just being,
Just the
whatever,
most-
being
the most,
open
like,
to whatever.
Eloquent 10-year-old.
well, you can have
Who is this 10-year-old that is into Satan? That wants to
Who's
transition
recruiting
the-
kids?
the, like,
crushing it. He's making a ton of money. Whoever
Inviting
killing.
other
needs to be
kids.
stopped.
That kid's the Antichrist, if that's
But
true.
it's pretty interesting. This stuff, but
be.
again, this is stuff that people were talking about years ago. This is stuff like I was talking about years ago. But again, patterns. So right now, the reason that we're talking about, and we're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff on the show,
yeah.
but we're talking about it right now.
It's just the beginning.
This is just the
People
beginning.
Buckle
It's going
up.
to get real weird.
Episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're talking about right now is just something that's actually very prevalent because it's going on. And I think people are curious about it, and that's kind of what we're talking about. Hopefully we're right. Maybe we're wrong here. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the red thing with a mustache and horns on its head's the devil, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I thought the devil looked like, but, you know, everybody else is saying it's something different.
That's crazy, though. Like, the thing is, like, a teacher had... Like, there's no way a kid started this. It was obviously, like, some teacher.
No, it was a little 8-year-old. He said, we
Yeah.
need more
No,
Satan.
Little
if
Timmy.
this is
It was little Timmy.
happening in Illinois, I'm going right to Pritzker.
Oh.
I'm going right to
Pritzker?
Pritzker.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Why is that?
It's Pritzker.
Because it's Pritzker, dude. So so a couple things there, but
Is he a
have you seen the supposed Epstein flight log?
Okay.
So I'm waiting for an official Epstein flight
Whoa.
log till I can start slamming people for real.
It's not
I
going to
don't
come
know.
out. That's
It'll
not.
never
It'll
come
never
out.
come out, right?
Wait,
And
so
why
how do-
not?
So then how do we
They
even
don't
Why are we
want
not
to.
going after these
Oh,
motherfuckers, right?
absolutely.
Just
So,
like Hunter
of
Biden's
course we should.
laptop.
Well, because
These
they're
things will
too
never
powerful.
exactly. So, but if you look at there's like an unofficial list. Have you guys seen that?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay,
I
on the
didn't
name,
realize it was
one of the
unofficial.
names, and it's got a shitload of celebrities.
Will Smith.
Will Smith, Will Ferrell, Tom Hanks, you name them, Chelsea Handler. They're all on this thing, right? Okay, names that you're just like, what the fuck? Chris Tucker, obviously Bill Clinton, but repeat
The
flyer.
most unsurprising one.
I ain't been on
But
no plane,
You
man.
could see, okay, so you could see why someone would make up like, let's put this celebrity on there to like, throw shade or
If they
whatever the
just
fuck
hated
you
that
want to do.
celebrity.
You're right,
How do we
right,
even
right.
know it's real?
But you know whose name is on there? Thomas Pritzker. It's JB's brother. Why would anybody make up that name of all names, of all people, if you're trying to sign it? So this, to me, lends some validity to JB's brother being on the Epstein flight logs. Oh, I can't wait. I hope and I pray that we get an official goddamn list because
I don't think we ever will. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry.
we
there's-
never will.
it's
But I
not.
hope we don't.
That's the thing. Like
Piss on
they
your
have
parade, but I
it.
don't think
Like
it's happening.
authorities have it, but they're not releasing it. It's just like this thing.
Yeah.
Like the mass shooting that happened. Like in where was it? Where like the
There's so many.
trans school a trans shooting.
Texas, I
Talking
think.
about that.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. I don't know. Should we
All
even
I
talk
was
about
gonna
that?
say is
Yeah.
there's a manifesto that they wrote.
And
That
this
is not-
Allegedly.
Oh, no, it's been proven.
You could find this on regular.
You can prove they wrote a manifesto. You can look
Mm.
you can look at the news. They wrote a manifesto, but it's not being
It's
not being released.
It's not. Yeah, right. There's a lot of like issues about transparency right now that's been going on. For certain people, some people think everything's fine, but others think that there's some transparency issues with what's being redacted, right?
Yes.
And they're saying that it's a tactic that Washington uses. Both sides. What they do is they just redact everything so that they don't have to show you anything. Instead of there's a few words or small areas, So based on that practice that they're saying is a regular practice, I highly doubt they're going to want to give any
They're not
information that's
releasing
not
anything.
going to fit the narrative
And
that,
that's
that
the
they're
thing.
trying to
Like,
push on people.
In this case, if they just released that manifesto, we would see that just this person, this individual person, is just a nut job.
Mhm.
Just like, but it's like they're trying to make it a big thing. They're trying to make it like, was it motivated by certain laws? It's like, well, regardless, release that manifesto. We see that this person, they were just crazy. They were just a nut job.
Let them be.
Let it like,
Show the crazy.
show the craziness
crazy.
of this person. Don't make it so ambiguous of like the motives and just let us
They're
see that
I
this
get-
person was a piece of shit.
Listen, I get weirded out talking about this stuff, and it's not us. It's people who don't want
others.
people talking about this kind of stuff, and
Others.
it's a goddamn shame. But it just fucking is what it is. So
I agree.
yeah,
Let's
so
go.
much to talk about. But wait, hold on. I got some late breaking news, Mr. Producer.
Whoa.
APK.
Whoa.
Can you look up
Late breaking.
Dalai Lama caressing young girl?
Oh.
Do you just find this right now?
I got some late breaking news. Listen, there's a team here.
Wow.
There's a lot of behind the
Wow,
scenes
there's a lot of
shit
stuff
going
going on.
on
There's
at
stuff
Sip
going
of
on.
Courage. And I got some late
It's getting
breaking
real.
news, and I don't know about this.
2 days ago.
Okay.
Is there a video?
There has to
I'm
be.
scared
I'm sure
that there
there
is.
And this, if he try YouTube, maybe no.
So, again, I don't know what this is with the Dalai Lama, but it seems like earlier, it seems
pattern.
Like, it seems like he's got a small pattern.
You're
Pattern.
talking about patterns.
We're working on patterns here, and it seems like he has a pattern of holding people a little longer than they like.
Well, I
You
want
know?
to see this video.
I don't know
is
what
this
this
it?
video's. I don't know what this video's going to show, but we'll see if his pattern continues.
After all these years
Just a
of
few
life,
days ago too. Like just
Right. Well, that's
back
kind
to
of.
back.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, I think this is like.
he just
This
apologized
is
for the
all
one thing.
Yeah, this is all shit people are talking about. So What are we seeing with our eyes here? I love that. I love seeing stuff and people going, no, that's not what it is.
Dude, that's the best.
That's what's going on right
when
now.
People
so much of that.
tell you
so
what you're
much
seeing
of
with
that.
your eyes are telling you, no, it ain't.
No.
It's not that.
No, it's not that.
Don't trust yourself.
Right.
Believe me.
Right. Believe me. Right. It's like
Don't believe your own intuition.
What do they call those things? The ink blots? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Rorschach test.
Yeah, like those like psychological.
Okay, I feel like that's like the world
Try
right
YouTube.
now, right? So you look at it and everybody else goes, no, it's butterflies. Well, you just asked me what I saw. No. It's butterflies. Look, I can show you how to see it. Look, watch. Look at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
It's manipulation, man. It's pretty interesting. Was that him slapping an old white lady? What is that? What was that?
So that would be funny. If it was the same old white lady that did the bullfighting poker table thing.
Bullfighting.
Slap her.
This is it. I think this is it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Ooh.
Okay. Still excusable, right?
It's
You
a
could say.
little
I mean, it's
weird.
I mean, he's essentially just jerking her arm off.
The
which is
emotion's a
really-
little weird.
Doesn't seem necessary.
Right.
She seems to look at him too, like, come on, stop.
Yeah,
that.
like, dude. you're
Where's
weird.
her hand?
I mean,
Is
this
it
is
her hand is like next to him?
It looks like her hand is like, I don't know. It's hard to
It's not
tell.
on him.
Well, I think she's an amputee.
Amputee. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh my
So is
goodness.
he
This
even?
is
That's
her-
what
Oh
I was
my
trying to figure
goodness.
out. That's her amputee.
That's in the.
It's not making a joke.
No.
No.
I'm trying to look at the video.
Right.
Yeah, because she has two. They look like.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like synthetic.
It's her limbs. Right. Yeah. Synthetic limbs.
Oh yeah, and there's a wheelchair right here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's hers.
My goodness.
See, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's anything crazy about this video.
This one looks a little
I mean,
vanilla.
it's uncomfortable.
Nuts.
It's I'm not saying
mean,
it's.
I just don't think you should be doing it.
Yeah, it's just
I get it, but
uncomfortable.
I mean, he's not really. Listen.
You just had some heat, man.
I'm sorry.
Lay low.
Listen, you can't lay low. Lay low.
That's what I think.
You can't-
We all have our opinions. I say, chill out, dude. Chill the fuck out. All right? I don't see anything overtly
I'm
nefarious
gonna offer you a
happening
little
here.
street cred here,
But-
a little street idea. Lay
But then
low.
again, so like people are ready to pounce on him, you
Right,
know,
of
for
course.
everything.
Well,
So
okay, yeah,
that's
but-
what I'm saying.
I mean,
Don't
compare it.
do this.
Compare it to sucking.
I mean,
tongue.
even
It's
then,
pretty
like,
serious.
even if it's not like the worst
Gross.
intentions, like, you
Right.
know, understand that, you know, you can make people uncomfortable. Just don't make people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't caress someone's arm in that motion for
sure
a
his
prolonged
thing
period of
is
Well, look
time.
at all
like
the-
being wise.
Look at all the Creepy Joe videos. You know, you go and you look up Creepy Joe. Him
We'll just-
sniffing
we
people.
should do a
rubbing
whole
people's
episode
ears.
just
Oh,
to be-
so
We just watch
bizarre.
all the creepy Joe videos.
Just do a breakdown.
Bizarre, man.
Did you see the one where the guy smacked his hand away?
Yes, that was.
He kept trying to touch
Attorney
the
General.
girl, and dude was like, "Fucking stop it
he
already."
Yeah, because I mean, he knew what was going on. That's what that was. I had to check him real
Sick
quick.
of it.
Right,
Just
check
check his
him real
ass.
quick.
World
Yeah,
leaders
yeah.
are getting creepier.
Yeah,
They always have been. They're just
they
being
always
more
have been. These are
exposed.
supposed to be the people in
They're
charge.
being more exposed.
They're all creeps.
What else we got?
All
Where
right,
we
this
headed?
one. All right, I
Everyone's
think
exposed.
we're winding down.
Winding down a little bit
A
here?
little bit.
Okay.
I think we've been going for a little while.
We're on the
So
home
anyways,
stretch.
One of my things, one of the things I like looking into is what appears to be ritual murder.
Ritual. Okay, can we elaborate on ritual?
Well,
murder?
sure,
People don't know.
sure.
Those are two big words.
Yeah.
Ritual murder seems like a big deal. Again, there's a companion video that should be in front of this, and it kind of gets into what I'm talking about here. So there's stuff happening by the numbers. We're talking gematria. We're talking 666 code. Watch the video for that reference, please. But so basically, the Cash App guy just got murdered on April 4th, right? There is a...
Who's the Cash App guy?
his name is Bob Lee.
Bob Lee.
One of the most generic names ever.
He's also friends with
It's true.
Jake Shields, who's an MMA fighter. Just while you look this up, just to cover some dead air here.
Yeah.
MMA fighter Jake Shields, who's very notorious on Twitter. I follow him. He's funny. I like Jake Shields. Phenomenal wrestler.
Okay.
He, I guess, was friends with this guy and tweeted out that he had gotten stabbed out
Whoa, we got stabbed.
in the safe part of
Well, here's
the
where it's
safe part
interesting.
of
San Fran.
San Fran.
So look, he made the Cash App. He got rich off it, right? Where people can just pay,
exchange cash,
shit, right, between each other, right?
Right.
His name was Bob Lee. So on March 15th, here's where we get into it. It starts to get weird. On March 15th of this year, 2023, the Federal Reserve announces a July launch for the FedNow service.
Right, which is the FedNow service is going to be a digital dollar that they're going to roll out, which is very, very, very dangerous.
Very, very, very not good. Okay? They're going to
Not
put all
good
the
at all.
bells and whistles and tell
Very
you how
dangerous.
convenient it's going to be and how great it's going to be.
They're
but it's
even
not
going to
fucking
offer
good
you free money. They're
They'll
going to
offer
tell
you
you
whatever
that's how
it
they're
takes
going to. That's how they sell you.
for you to accept.
We're
Right?
gonna
But
do a
before we
new
get
currency.
into that aspect, just know this was launched. The announcement for it being launching in July, the announcement, the story for the FedNow service came out on March 15th. Why does that date matter? It's called the Ides of March, my boys. When fucking Caesar got stabbed on March 15th in the year 44 BC. So now Bob Lee gets murdered on 4/4, April 4th. On top of it, in Gematria, please watch the goddamn other video.
The
Watch it
companion
like
video.
if you're tuning
The
into the
companion
podcast, watch it first. It'll make
Yeah,
way more
watch it-
sense.
watch it
well,
first.
we're gonna cover a bunch of stuff that you may not know about and that need lengthy explanation, right? So there's gonna be different kinds of stuff that we might talk about with the lengthy information, and we're gonna do these kind of companion shorts, essentially, where we're gonna explain some of what we touched on and offer you an opportunity to maybe check it out yourself. If it's something that interests you, you can go ahead and look it up. We're gonna
Exactly.
try to offer, as time goes by, we're gonna try to offer references to books, websites, whatever case may be.
All the stuff just
So
for
that
you
you guys can
guys
figure
to
it out on your
learn
own.
and
Yeah.
look into stuff for yourselves.
Anything that interests you.
So just know that the FedNow was the story for it to be launched, which came out on the Ides of March 15th, when Caesar got stabbed. Then the owner of the Cash App gets stabbed on 4/4, April 4th. Mind you, he was stabbed by a 38-year-old, and in Gematria, murder equals 38, killing equals 38, to kill equals 38, and Bob Lee was 43 years old. Murdered equals 43 in this code. And on top of it, it happened. It says he was walking around when you look at 2:30 in the morning. And I saw another story that said it was like 2:03 in the morning. Well, this is 666 code yet again, the 23, 2 divided by 3, 666. So we're just going to keep seeing these goddamn stories of people dying in all these weird ways. So the Ides of March, the dude gets stabbed.
Stabbed 3 times with a 4-inch knife. That ring any
Okay,
bells?
stabbed 3 times, right? And if you look into it, so there's something called a day calculator, and you can take any date to any date, and it will tell you this expanse of time, whether it's the days, weeks, hours, months, minutes, all of it, right? So from the Ides of March, March 15th, to the day that this dude got killed was 3 weeks. And he got stabbed 3 times, right? That's what it said. At 2:30,
It's pretty
666
crazy.
code, right? So just had to throw that little nugget in there. And to what you were saying earlier, the digital currency is not good because
No,
they're
it's
trying
not.
to get rid of our cash, okay? They can't track when you pay somebody for anything with cash. Someone to help you move. You want to throw them $50, whatever, anything. You can't just, what they're trying to push is so that you can never do that. They will always be able to track anything you do digitally. And not only that, you won't have your physical cash. It will exist digitally, which means they could shut that shit down.
Not only that, but it's also something that a lot of people don't talk about: mandatory taxes. So what I mean by that is, if when you do your taxes at the end of the year, you say, hey, I have an expense here, I have an expense there, right? I did this, I did that, that's not gonna exist because they're gonna know everything that you already did. They know exactly what you did. So you're just gonna pay for it right away. There will be no, oh, we're gonna give you a break on this, we're gonna give you a break on that, or you did this. No. We know exactly where you're at, exactly how much money you spent.
We know
there is no
what
cash,
you
there
bought,
is no discount.
who
right.
you paid,
where it went, and that's a scary
This
world.
is what we cannot have.
And the
This is
big
a scary
companies,
world.
have this
the
happen.
big companies are still going to get their tax breaks.
Right. Well,
Of
that's why.
course.
Well, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Right. But that's why data gathering and all that other stuff is so important, because they know exactly what to get you and when. But we'll get into all that stuff. That's going to be, for later times.
It's
That'll be
bigger,
interesting.
but it's just yet another murder that happened with some weird symbolism attached, and the dates and the ages and all this stuff. And so, I had to throw a little something in there.
Well,
on
and
that.
we'll get into more
and we're gonna
episodes of
do
that.
A lot. Listen, I got stories
Kobe-
for days. That
Kobe
go-
Bryant, a lot of people talk about Kobe Bryant. That's one that's actually really popular. And
when we do the Kobe
Doug-
Bryant story,
yeah, Doug knows a lot about this, and he's been looking at this stuff for a long time. So there's interesting things that he has, and it's actually very popular. And not obviously, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. He was arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. People talk about the number relations on certain levels, and so it's like a real thing. It's not something that's small. You can look it up, Kobe Bryant death date and things like that. It'll start popping up all over.
There's literally Kobe Bryant Day, and I don't know if it's in just L.A. or if it's in all of California. We'll look into that, but it's literally August 24th because he wore 8 and 24. So they're doing shit by the numbers.
Right.
It's just happening in people's faces, and they don't understand. So, yeah, we're definitely going to get into that. I've got a whole Kobe Bryant presentation. I would love to make a whole episode. The whole Anne Heche and Twitch and with Ellen DeGeneres. That's a whole fucking presentation. So, but what I want really is to make this like matter of fact for our viewers, for our audience to know this. And again, do it yourself. Learn the gematria code. Like you can do all this yourself. Everything we talk about, Google it, look into it. Don't believe us. Look for yourself.
Prove us wrong.
When we're talking about stuff, when we're presenting stuff as what I would say facts or information, it's from the mainstream. And sure, they lie all the time, but that's a good way to detect, look at the shit they're saying. It's ridiculous, right? That's a good way to figure out how they're lying. But at the same time, look at it yourself but know how to.
Right, and take a look at things. Everybody looks at things differently. If someone can offer you a better perspective or a different perspective, new perspective, whatever case may be, I think the whole point for me anyway, the whole point of the show is, listen, we're going to talk about some crazy shit. Your friends are going to talk about. Everybody talks about crazy shit, right? But nowadays, there's a lot of stuff that used to be a conspiracy that isn't a conspiracy.
There's a lot of stuff coming to light
that people have been told was a conspiracy. That's not true. That's not real. Don't listen to that. And yet here we are, and it's coming out. It is true. It is real, and you should have been listening.
And
to
people
it.
were saying this shit for years,
yes.
and you didn't believe them, and then it came out as
Right.
true. So what the fuck do you think is happening now when people are telling you these things in real time don't make sense, or they're happening, and it's bullshit, and people are like, no. Well, guess what's going to happen in 10 to 20 years? They're going to look back, and they're going to say, all that shit that the conspiracy motherfuckers were saying, they were right. Yet again. And it happens all throughout time.
And they're gonna have a president like Bill Clinton did, and just come out and be like, we did some bad stuff back then.
Sorry about that.
We're trying to
We're
be
definitely
better.
not going to do anymore.
But something I do want to say that I think is super important as we wrap this up. It's okay to be wrong. I've been wrong. I've made mistakes. I've been wrong about stuff my friends have corrected. My friends have laughed at me and gone, "Dan, you're totally wrong about that." And I've had to be corrected.
Sure.
But I would much rather be corrected by someone. To me, being corrected is far less embarrassing than being ignorant and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you're running around and you're saying the wrong stuff or you're misinformed, whatever case may be, I think that's more embarrassing than being corrected by someone. To be corrected is a good thing. That's healthy. If you let me run around and let me say the wrong stuff, you're not my friend. You're not trying to help me out. You're not looking out for me.
It's about growth, learning,
so
becoming the best person you could be.
We could all stand to grow, and we could all stand to hear some, opposing views on things, and all that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think at the end of the day, we just got to, remember we're all Americans, and we all got to treat each other,
Even
the right
if,
way and with respect and love.
even if we're not Americans, we're all humans.
Yeah,
We all have human dignity. We all have
Yeah.
human value. And that being said, if we're wrong, let us know. If we got anything wrong, let us know.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this. I don't think we're going to be wrong very often, but if we are wrong, we're not lying. We're doing our best to figure out what the hell is going on. And,
right.
you know, and
There's nothing malicious behind it. I don't have an agenda to pass. I'm not running for office. I don't want to do any of that shit.
and the other thing I want to say is, listen, we try to laugh, we try to have fun. Sometimes this stuff gets dark,
humor.
and but you know, we're just doing our best. And what encourages me, if things seem the bleakest, and you know, you're feeling down, just I really feel like people are becoming more and more receptive. People are realizing more that maybe the media isn't telling us the whole goddamn truth.
Absolutely.
I think more people are
Well, it's
waking
coming
up,
out more and
I
more that
hope
they
and
aren't.
pray.
They aren't telling the truth. You're hearing it more and more. I mean, it's right. It's over and over again.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, you
Exactly.
hear about
Lies.
it all the
Yes.
time. I mean, just real quick, like obviously we've seen stuff that CNN's lied about stuff. CNN's covered up for the
Right.
government. You have the whole lawsuit that Fox News just settled over some like misinformation stuff. Everyone is lying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do your best, do your research. In my personal opinion, right, guys? If I could send a message, do your best, do your research. Read everything.
Don't believe
know-
everything
and-
you hear from the mainstream
right.
media.
And don't believe everything you read. Do some research. If you want to, look for 3-4 sources that offer you some confirmation. But just do the best you can. I'm not perfect. Doug's not perfect. Mr. Producer isn't perfect. But hopefully we bring you some cool information and some laughs. And if we could do that along the way, I'm a happy man. That's all I
Mission
got.
accomplished. And if one person looks into something and learns something from what we've said that they would have never known otherwise, then it's a fucking successful podcast. And that's all I hope, man. At least one person to wake up, because we need to.
Yep.
So, damn, I think we just did something. No.
We finished. I think we're good here.
All right, boys. Great job,
Excellent way to
everybody.
wrap it
Thank
up.
you, Mr. Producer. Thank you, Danny. Thanks to myself.
Yes, yes.
And thanks to you guys. And tune in, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And we're just going to keep rocking out episodes
As much
and
as we
doing
can.
the best we can to learn and grow. And hopefully you guys come along the way and learn and grow with us. And damn, thanks, everyone. Be safe out there, everybody, and we'll see you
Yes.
next time.
Take care.